subscribe. Subscribe to my guy, Uncle D. Tell him Big Bass sent you.
Dennis Swilling. I'm an attorney here in Houston, Texas. An advocate for black men, largely because I am a black man. I'm a black father. I have black sons. Hey man, I do what I do.
When we were young in Africa, we worshipped African Americans. We changed our names to African Americans. My friends in school were called Jim Brown, Black Moses. I was called Superfly.
Okay.
Yes. Blacks in Africa, the barbershop, we go to barbershop until blacks started wearing afro, and we stopped and we started wearing afro. We blacks hated our own fabric, the dashiki.
It's culture. People assume that culture is about how you sing and how you dance and what you eat and what you wear. All right? They think it's just your rituals or your celebrations. But culture is far deeper than that. That's part of it. Culture is about framework. It's about ideas. It's about values, about beliefs. The stuff that shapes a people and how they live and what they build and important to them and how they govern themselves. Shout out to DT.
Stick me for my culture, vulture. Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture?
Don't trip. I'm gonna take it off your hands for you.
These items aren't for sale.
How do you think your ancestors got these? You think they paid a fair price? Or did they take it and took everything else?
Yes, we are the culture, vulture. Tell me who told ya? Put drip on like we bosses. Peep the slang you talk. Be humble, live, wearing LA Dodgers, connivers. NBA culture, we so for years, who done robbed us, might like us, we are used to. Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture? I'm from the ghetto metal, you don't know our culture. And this ain't about $1 when we rap, we are broken. Niggas rapping gave us voices again. We created choices again. Food like who the horses again. Y'all done flip the moises again. Courses again. Same ones who told us do the talking. Nigga, get around them ghost folks. Turn them to the sophist again. Tissue paper. Wipe my ass with you an imitator. Just because you melanated, be one of the biggest haters. Stickers for the paper. Taking shortcuts. Elevator. We've been on the stairway of success. Wished an elevator. Separators. Talking tribal talk. They all denigrators. We reloaded. Okay. FBA delineated.
US ain't got no culture. They is all our shit. A bunch of hours.
These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
And we've always had
this nigga here, that nigga there. The realest we the culture. Was it for us who the taught you? We them eagles sitting next to vultures. So tell me who don't have a culture? We the realest, we the culture. Was it for us who the taught you? We them eagles sitting next to vultures. So tell me who don't have a culture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture, vulture? Why they wanna stick me for my culture? Me and Dennis teacher, he the chemist. I put music in it, educate, put out the informate. Call a violinist, we the bad guy. I'm from prison, he's a lawyer spitting. Don't get it confused, words a weapon, I'm a target hitter. YouTube, learning, discerning was entertaining. We doing the Lord's work. Don't like it then, middle finger. Not one of them little singers. No substance, gorilla slinging. Tap dancing for mass and them. Blizzard hit at different angles. Real man shit, masculine. That's the culture for you. Mad, we ain't marching for you. That's the vulture for you. Intelligence, relevance. Stood on business, telling them. We address the room, riding in on them elephants.
American culture that is good comes from foundational Black Americans. The food, the dance, the slang, the sports, the entertainment.
Come in with a culture that they can establish a culture that they can now build businesses and industries and relate back to their homeland. Black folks get nothing.
Africa ain't built no ship and came back over and rescued one nigga since we left from Africa. Yeah, and Africans don't like us.
The music genre was created by foundational Black Americans. We are the culture.
Yeah, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. Big up, big, super big, major shout out to Eddie B. Thank you for being the first person to contribute to the super chat. I think we got a Cash App 213. Shout out to the Cash App family, man. I ain't even got around to teaching nothing yet. Nah, I say don't send me nothing until you learn something, man. But big shout out, Robert Williams. Oh, I don't even want to say your whole name, but brother, big shout out to you too. Thank you for that, Robert. I appreciate you, man. Good looking out. Golly, you came through with the $100. I ain't got good yet. Look, what I say is, if you learn something, I should earn something, man. But I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much. Off rip. And big shout out to Big Bass Life. Somebody in the super chat is asking, or the Cash App is asking, who is that guy rapping? That is Big Bass Life. He is a regular over here. He does the music aspects. Y'all won't be bored to death listening to old Uncle D talking about these facts and so on and so forth. But I want to welcome everybody to the broadcast. Got to clean my little spectacles off here. I might need to get myself some bigger frames so I can start seeing with a little bit more detail. So I'm talking about Uncle D is starting to squint a little bit more now in these days, man. But big shout out to everybody who's in here. We got my lynch mob, my wrench mob is in here. But I want to give a big shout out to all the real MVPs up in here, man. Very little. All my membership. Shout out to who else we got up in there? Mr. 43TX. Let's see. All right. Charles Holman, thank you so much, brother. Praying for and Alicia, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And also Cynthia, thank you so much, baby girl. I appreciate you too. Yeah. My wrench mob, of course. Big shout out to the wrench mob. We got to go show some love to the wrench mob. The wrench mob is what keeps the chat room regulated. Y'all can go ahead and let them talk, though. I think I might try something maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I might just do membership only. Can comment. You know, I think that might be a good look. That might help drive up the membership. The goal is to try to get another 100 members soon, sometime in the near future. I think I deserve that. You guys probably don't know, but everything that you see, the stuff that you see or used to see is on membership. And the other stuff that you don't see anymore is on membership. So you got to become a member if you want to see it. So feel free to become a member. And if you are a member, membership is free. I think it's only $2.99. So it's a win either way. But either way, shout out to everybody. Look here, we're going to talk about pretty girl poverty. Yeah, that's right. Pretty girl poverty. What do I mean by that, man? Pretty girl poverty. Well, here's the thing. You know, as you guys see, we are entering into a whole new realm here. We got a different kind of economy being brewed. Donald Trump. Shout out to all the Trump supporters. Shout out. Hey, look, the only thing I tell vote their interest. Okay, that's what I say. I don't care if you sat on the couch. That's none of my business. I just tell people to vote their interest. Okay, and vote their interest simply means vote your interest. If you are a card-carrying member of some sort of union or something like that, you probably should have voted for the Democrats. If you are a small business owner and you want low taxes, you probably should have voted for the Republicans. If you're a person that is against immigration and you want to get some immigration reform, you probably should have voted Republican. Hell, and if you didn't like either one of the candidates, I'm not mad at you if you stayed on the couch. But either way, we have to deal with what's at hand. You understand me? And what's at hand is we got a whole new type of economy that Donald Trump is putting together. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to discuss a crisis that's affecting millions of women across the economy, right? I call it the pretty girl poverty phenomenon. Right? And no, this isn't just about politics. This is about women's survival. It's about how economic policies impact real people's lives, especially women. And women who worked hard to be independent, you know, to make their own way. You know, all you independent ladies out there. But now, you know, you're being backed into a financial corner. So I need all the pretty girls. Well, all the pretty girls with the good weave, come on to the front. Come on up here. You got good weave and long lashes that you purchased. Come on, sis. Come on down to the front. Don't be shy. All right, this message is for you. Okay, we're gonna wait for a few minutes until you get yourself seated, get comfortable, because what I'm gonna say is gonna hit home. All right, we're living in a time where everything costs more and the government support is disappearing. Okay, you know, and Trump's gold card visa. Have you guys been hearing about that? Let me let y'all see what DJ Trump, the hot boy Trump, is talking about out here. I want y'all to see what this man is plotting and planning. I just need you to hear it out of his mouth. Okay, I want you to see what Trump said, what he had said he was going to do. Listen to this.
Commerce, then they'll make a proper investment on the EB-5, right? And we think Scott and I will design the EB-5 investment model.
Shout out to Randy Harris.
The best people together to do that. So this is joint. This is exactly the Trump administration. We all work together. We work it out to be the best. And if we sell, just remember, 200.
Now that is I forget. This is Trump's first cabinet meeting. Shout out to Randy Harris. This is Trump's first cabinet meeting. As you see, sitting next to him is the Secretary of Defense. And I forget who this guy is. This is Secretary of Commerce, I believe. Now, they are talking about, this was today. This was on you today. Okay, this is not old. This is right now. Okay, we got these immigrants under control. Okay, now it's about to go down. All right, so I want you to hear how Trump responds to his Commerce Secretary when he suggests what he suggests. Not bad, but I just want you to hear. Y'all go ahead and keep listening.
200,000. There's a line for EB-5 of 250,000 right now. 200,000 of these gold green cards is $1 trillion to pay down our debt. And that's why the president is doing it, because we are going to balance this budget and we are going to pay off the debt under President Trump.
Okay. Now, I just want you to hear what he said. He basically said, we have these gold cards. We're going to sell them for $5 million a piece. And we hope to sell 250,000. Shout out to Praying for Alicia. Thank you so much. And Allison Cooper. He said, we hope to sell them 5 million of them for $250,000. Somebody write 250,000 in the chat room. Now, I want you to look at Trump, and I want you to hear what he says when he jumps in. I'm gonna let him say it.
Promise and make commitments to create a certain number of jobs here in the U.S.
Because not all these people are going to be job builders. There'll be successful people, or there'll be people that were hired
rich
from colleges, like sort of like paying an athlete a bonus. Apple or one of the companies will go out and they'll spend they'll buy 5 of them, and they're going to get 5 people. Look,
he said a company can come in and buy 5 of them. In other words, 5. Now, the gold card is basically a visa. It's like, you know, have you heard the green card? Okay, heck with the line. We're going to try to sell 250,000 people willing to pay $5 million just to be a resident of the United States. Look at the value that we're placing on just being a resident of the United States. He said 250,000 people paying $5 million a piece. He said a company might come in and buy 5 of them. So now you got your top grade workers, and they got their gold card, so you can bring them in, right? So I just want you to understand what we're doing. Not 250,000, 5 million for the gold card, 250,000 people. That's what the Secretary of Commerce said. Now listen to what Trump says.
I've had the complaint from a lot of companies where they go out to hire people and they can't hire them out of colleges. And you know what they do? They go back to India, or they go back to the country where they came, and they open up a company, and they become billionaires. They become, and they're employing thousands and there are a lot of examples. There are some really big examples where they were forced out of the country. They graduated top of their class at a great school, and they weren't able to stay. This is all the time you hear it. And the biggest complaint I get from companies, other than over-regulation, which we took care of, but we're going to have to take care of it here because a lot of that was put back on by Biden. But the biggest complaint is the fact that they can't have any longevity with people. This way they have pretty much unlimited longevity. Also with the 5 million, you know, that's a path to citizenship. So that's going to be, it's sort of a green card plus. And it's a
Somebody type green card plus in the chat room.
Path to citizenship. We're going to call it the gold card. And I think it's going to be very treasured. I think it's going to do very well. And we're going to start selling hopefully in about 2 weeks. Now, just so you understand, if we sell 1 million, right?
Now he said, how many we going to sell? 1 million. The other man said 250,000. Trump said we're going to sell 1 million of them. 1 million of them. So you're going to have 1 million new millionaires in this country. I just want you to understand something. Okay? I don't even know if there's that many millionaires in the world, but people who are going to generate that type of money. Can you imagine that? We have 1.8 million black millionaires in this country. Can you imagine adding another 1 million millionaires? What is that going to do to the economy? How are you going to be able to support yourself? 1 million new millionaires, and I'm not saying each one of these people are going to be millionaires, but what I'm saying is these people are going to have access to your roads, your highways, your housing market. They're not going anywhere, so they're going to be more likely to invest. So that house that you wanted to get for $600,000 is now going to go up to $280,000. You understand what I'm saying? Now, he just said 1 million. We're going to sell 1 million people these $500 million gold cards. Now keep listening.
1 million, that's $5 trillion.
That's $5 trillion.
Trillion. Howard was using a different number, but that's $5 trillion. If we sell 10 million, which is possible, 10 million highly productive people coming in, or
if we sell 10 million, did you hear what he said? If we sell 10 million, what are we going to do? What you living in Dayton, Ohio, and one of these 10 million millionaires move into your community. Let's say 50 millionaires move into your community and you're in Dayton, Ohio. How are you going to afford to live in Dayton, Ohio anymore? What's going to go? What is going to happen to the cost of living if 10 million millionaires and everybody that hired them come over here, and you have all these? What is that going to do to you, America? Huh? Let's keep listening. Let's keep on listening.
People coming in, or people that we're going to make productive. They'll be young, but they're talented, like a talented athlete. That's $50 trillion. That means our debt is totally paid off, and we have $15 trillion above that. And I don't know that we're going to sell that many. Maybe we won't sell many at all. But I think
what I'm saying is, do you all see what I mean? I'm not mad at the plan. Basically, look, we're going to sell citizenship. Now, I want you guys to understand. I want you to just understand what the president said. All you Americans out there, all my real Americans, didn't we just make a big deal about getting rid of these immigrants? Isn't that what we wanted to do? We got rid of all the immigrants and sent them back down to South America and Central America. That's what we did, right? We sent them all home. And then Trump just turned around and said, nah, we're going to bring in 10 million more immigrants, except these immigrants are going to be rich. And so you all are concerned about your culture. Shout out to all the folk who say they are going to replace you. That's what they are going to replace you with rich millionaires. That's what's going to happen, and their families. And you're not going to be able to compete in this economy. All right. Can you imagine what the prices for hotels and housing is going to be in Miami and New York in about 5 years after 3 million millionaires move here? Huh? Can you imagine that? It's going to be astronomical. All right, let's let the president finish.
I think there really is a thirst. No other country can do this because people don't want to go to other countries.
They sure don't.
Everybody wants to come here, especially since November 5th.
Especially since I'm back. Now, I want you to contemplate that. Just put your thinking caps on. Now, Donald Trump, I voted for him. I'd vote for him again. I'm cool with what he's doing, but I'm in a different situation than most people. Okay, I benefit from the Republican policies at this point that I'm in. But the average American thought, hey, he's going to get rid of all these immigrants so we can have a chance. Get rid of all these people taking our jobs, cutting grass and painting curves and such, right? Trump don't care about y'all. You're not special to him. And you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking to my whites. All my whites, y'all voted to get all the brown people out. And now you got a different kind of brown people coming back. This different kind of brown people got a lot of money, okay? And here's the other thing. So that being the case, I just wanted to establish that foundation. So just think about that. Now, again, we're living in a time where everything costs, all right? It costs more and more. And the government support is disappearing. So Trump's gold card visa, and that just lets you know where he's going with it. Y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe button and like button as you come in. I think I need like 80 more people to get to 75,000. That'd be cool. If y'all can get me 80 subscribers, that'd be awesome. But now but I want to get back to this, and you don't have to contribute to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal, but I require that you definitely hit the like button, because if you don't hit the like button, I'm gonna make y'all listen to some gospel music for about 25 minutes. All right. So don't cheat me on my likes. Okay. But nevertheless, so this Trump gold card visa is just rolling out the red carpet for billionaires and multimillionaires around the world. But what about the hardworking American women? Okay, because fellas, and I'm not going to talk about you all, because the truth is, you and I all know that nobody cares what happens to men. I think we can agree that a man can be living under a bridge and nobody cares. It just is what it is, fellas. I think Chris Rock said it best: unless a man is producing, he's a nobody. But when we start talking about women, right? We got, think about it. We got all these job losses and welfare cuts and few opportunities. It's going to be a lot of women forced to rethink their future. Not because they want to, but because they really don't have a choice. For some of them, it's going to be falling back to being traditional housewives if they can, and relying on men for financial support, or even struggling to try to survive in industries that once promised them independence. But I don't know. The problem is when you start looking at industries like entertainment and, let's say, social media and sales and those sort of things, online content creation, that's drying up, right? That stuff is drying up. And this isn't the first time the economy has changed, because I'm not going to say it's collapsing. I'm going to say it's changed. And the way women live their lives is going to be affected. We've seen this before. Okay, the Great Depression from 1929 to 1939. Women who had independent lifestyles, they were forced to marriage just for survival. After World War II, when men came back home from overseas, the women were pushed out of the job market. Okay, and these same women who were in the job, who were in the construction sites and so on, they were pushed clean out the job market. All right, that's when the 1950s rolled in. These same women who were housewives 10 years before were working at the plants building bombs for World War II. And then what about the 2008 financial crisis? Women stayed in unhappy relationships because they simply couldn't afford to leave. And now Trump and this economy, we're watching the same pattern unfold, and it's happening fast. Even industries that once provided an escape route, like strip clubs, shout out to all my strip club attenders, adult entertainment, OnlyFans, all of those are struggling industries. And the reason is because men have less money to spend and they're less concerned with entertainment like that. But at the same time, more women are flooding into the industries out of financial desperation, and it's creating more competition and lower earnings and even more economic instability. Okay, and now let's not even mention the 200-something thousand federal workers that just lost their job, right? And that fallout is going to be catastrophic, not just for those employees, but also for those entire communities. Look at all the houses for sale in the DC area, okay? You got local businesses, schools, all of them are going to take a hit. And the gap between the rich and the poor is going to grow. And women, especially single moms, especially single women who have children, they're going to be left with a lot fewer options, especially if you can't up and move. So what does that mean for women? It means financial independence is slipping away. It means that without government assistance, without stable careers, women who once had safety nets are now forced into dependent relationships just for survival. Somebody type, "Hey, big head." Somebody type, "Hey, big head." That one. You know what I'm saying? What's happening is you're going to see that you have, as a matter, the economy, the environment, is this economic stress is reshaping gender roles and is pushing women back towards more traditional relationship, whether they like it or not. And so today we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about history repeating itself. We're going to talk about some lessons we learned. Shout out to Eric Brodus and what real solutions exist for women. And because this isn't just about today's economy, it's about the future financial independence for women in America. And look, I'm just happy you're here. I'm happy y'all want to entertain this. Did I say shout out to Eric Brodus? I'm gonna read all the super chats when I finish. But I want to go ahead and get through this. Now, of course, I have some footage that I'd like to share with you all. I want all of you all to come up close. I want y'all to look at this footage. And it's sad. It's so sad. And I don't want y'all to do no laughing. I don't want no laughing and nobody, okay? We're not here to laugh at people, okay? That's not what we do in our channel. We don't laugh at people because sad things are happening to them. We don't do that. That's not what we do here, okay? So y'all keep that in mind, okay? We're going to keep that in mind. Praise God. All right, now that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and commence with the commencing. All right, let's see what people got to say. Praise God. Hallelujah.
Time my turn. Well, this is really embarrassing.
What's
and
embarrassing?
I know I posted as a joke the other night about wanting to have $1 million by the time I turned 30. And I said that I'm 29 and I turned 30 in May.
You just gonna get $1 million in a year?
But I just found out that the place that I work is likely going out of business at the end of this month.
Okay.
And
how you gonna get that $1 million?
I will likely be without a job.
Oh, well, you ain't gonna get that $1 million.
I have, just like everybody else, I have bills, I have debt, I have a son.
Yes. Oh, you a baby mama. Oh, hold on a minute. Did you say you got a son? You got a son, baby. You ain't got no job. You got a son. What you gonna do? You out there crying on the internet. You need to go get you a job if you ain't got no job. Go ahead. Let's finish seeing what you're saying. Go ahead.
I could really just use like a distraction or
no, you need a job.
Words
you
of
need
encouragement.
Where's your baby daddy at?
Because I have never, not once in my life, been in a position where I'm gonna have to choose.
Oh no!
Which
Praise
bills
God.
get paid?
Oh no! You got to do. You got to pick and choose. You ever had to pay that light bill and tell them to put that gas bill on extension? That's what she got to do. Bless your heart. Somebody type "bless your heart" in the chat room.
So that we don't end up homeless.
Y'all gonna be. Oh no! You and the baby. Where's the baby daddy at? Somebody type "where's your baby daddy?" Somebody type, "where's your baby daddy at? Where's your baby daddy at?"
For not being in a better financial situation.
Where's your baby daddy?
And not asking for anything from anyone.
You need to ask your baby daddy. You need to ask your baby daddy to take that baby for a little while till you get yourself together. But go ahead.
Some advice or
you need a job.
Some
job.
Tips on what I can do. I've already been interviewed.
Now, baby, don't be talking about tips. There's too many black men up in here that might want to give you a tip or two. You need to get you a job. That's what you need to do. Okay, you need to get you a job. All these internet tips are not going to help. You need to send that baby to go be with his daddy till you get yourself together. He can go over there with their new girlfriend and you can get yourself together. You don't need no tips. That's probably what got you in trouble in the first place. Leave all them tips alone. Okay, the tips, stuff, you leave them tips alone. You need to focus on getting your job. But go ahead and finish.
At several different places because I knew that there was a possibility this might happen.
Oh, so you knew you were gonna
I've
get fired.
had some interviews, and some of them were like
Easy
months
mo.
ago, and I've never heard anything back.
They ain't
And
care
then
about it.
some I've, they've kept me updated on where they are,
You got to
the
get your nose
interview
together.
process,
Get your little,
and they're still running
your
their
little
budget
nose
numbers,
together.
and it seems like everybody is being
You,
really
I can't.
cautious
You
with hiring
snorting
right
too
now.
much. You snorting too much for me now, baby. You all that's distracting. I can't focus on you. Okay, you can't. You keep doing that.
Yeah, which I understand. It's a tumultuous situation.
Tumultuous,
I just don't
yes.
know.
You got the little side chin. You might need to hit the gym too. I'm just gonna say, baby, you might need to hit the gym. You got the little side meat right there. You need. I'm just saying, you need to go and send that baby to be with daddy. You get yourself together. Leave them tips alone. Okay, let's be talking about tips at a bar where you working your extra job. But that's what you need to do, and you might need to hit that gym a little bit, a little exercise, a little cardio, make you feel good, get the endorphins up. Praise God. Go ahead. You got a cute little round face, though.
I'm truly just embarrassed that I'm not in a better situation.
You
and it makes me feel irresponsible.
Yeah, you ain't
But
got
when
no,
I had my son, I didn't know that this was going to happen.
you didn't feel irresponsible when you I ain't gonna say nothing, but go ahead. Go ahead. What's your son?
I never dreamed that this would happen to me. And I took this current job because it was making a lot more money than my last job. And I never dreamed that they would offer me that much money knowing that they didn't have enough.
Oh, they lied to you. Praise God. We gonna let you go on
cash
here.
flow to support my salary,
so they just
let alone
hired
everybody
you.
else that works at the company.
They hired you
so
and then didn't. Okay.
I'm
We'll let you go. Let's get
angry
somebody
at
else in
myself.
there, baby. I know. Be angry with yourself.
The violins once again to perform a concerto to make the American citizen and the general public so angry and pissed off and upset at Elon and Doge for actually doing their job. Do you not understand that we have federal agencies that are supposed to be there to detect and remove waste, fraud, and abuse? But now that it's actually being done, Democrats and the Uniparty.
She kept her. She ain't lost her job. That's why she talking so reckless to these people. These people have lost their job. That's what we got. The waste, fraud, and abuse. Elon up in there to do. Y'all just waste, fraud, and abuse. That's what it is. She talking
Say
stuff.
that,
Go ahead,
it's
baby.
a real thing. Are going, no. We don't want to do that. Well, why do you have a federal agency set up for it? Laundromat, wash, rinse, repeat. Christina Dry was on a recent segment, 60-minute segment.
Yeah, baby. I'm gonna let you. You taking a little too long to land that plane. Let's go and get somebody else up in here. Let's get somebody.
Thousands of federal workers terminated this weekend.
Oh no!
Am I surprised? No.
I was
working for a federal health agency, so once RFK Jr. was confirmed last week, and they started almost immediately with the CDC and firing 1,300 probationary workers on Friday. I knew that my time was coming very shortly after, and I got
so you knew you was gonna get fired. But go ahead, let's see you talk, baby.
My email on Saturday. It was from an email I've never seen before. It was something like important HR notification.
Oh, that's how you know.
That's how you know. I've never seen before. It didn't come from one of my managers or direct supervisors. I haven't heard from anybody superior to me. I just got that email letting me know I was terminated for performance.
You was fired. Okay. I want you, maybe you don't remember, but Donald Trump had a show called The Apprentice. Okay. And I maybe watched a little bit of it. I was, not really watching too much TV at that time, but you were fired, not terminated. You were fired, baby. He likes to say that word. Everybody in the chat room, type fired in the chat room so she'll know. And I just want you to know that people don't really feel sorry for federal workers who get fired. They just don't care. But you pretty though. You're a pretty girl. Why don't you get your man?
The email said something along the lines of the agency does not see my current skills and abilities as fit for continued employment, and therefore they're terminating my employment.
You had a little hookup job. That's what they said. Your job was a hookup. But that's okay.
And this
Go
is
ahead.
the same email that thousands and thousands and thousands of people got. It doesn't actually reflect my abilities or any.
You said don't reflect your ability. Well, apparently Elon Musk thinks that it does reflect your ability, baby. But that's go ahead. Keep telling
She
us.
was laid off via this email. They're using the same cookie cutter template because when you're on the probationary period, which I am as well as the thousands of other people currently being laid off, you can only let us go if it is a performance issue or a budget issue or something along those lines. And I guess the only reason
obviously they don't need to just have a performance issue. Obviously, they could let you go with an email whenever they get ready. Obviously, I know what you think the law says, but apparently Donald Trump just came in and changed the law. But we feel bad for you, but we're gonna go ahead and get somebody else up in here because you know.
So I'm goddamn 33 years old, goddamn out here in Atlanta, Georgia, man. Then lost my job. I just moved back my folks to save some money. Now I'm there. Then
I can't, no, brother. Hold on a minute. Hold on. You can't be 33 years old talking like that, like a baby with a pacifier in his mouth. Goddamn, you can't be that goddamn old. Well, all my Atlanta people, I need y'all to interpret what the hell this young man is saying. I don't speak Atlantaese. Okay, all my Atlanta people, come to the front of the room. I need y'all to tell me what the hell he is saying. 33, he damn near 40, and he still speak like that. He speak like a baby. Shout out to all the mumble rapper generation. Go ahead.
I lost my job. I'm back at square one. Nigga, how we get here?
You got there because you probably. Shout out to JT. This is too easy. Come on, brother. Go ahead. Get it out.
Man, I'm back in the streets with it now again, man. I'm doing dope.
You lost your job because your pronunciation is not as well as it should be, sir. That's why you lost your job. That's why you lost your job. You sound like a baby. Okay, you sound like a baby from Decatur. Okay, and this how you been talking. You can't talk like that, shouty. You can't talk like that. Keep
I can't even do no illegal business and everything. I be straight legit, but I ain't been double down and mess up like that. Jet, like come on.
Yeah.
Already hired and lost the goddamn job with some fluke shit. I'm talking about from step 1 to step 4, they out the door like no warnings or no nothing. Like bro, I ain't know. So I was like, bro, I ain't did nothing wrong.
You clearly did do something wrong. You lost your job like that. Shit. Come on in,
them folks ain't listen. None on my song.
Yeah.
You hear me? I'm trying to tell.
He don't even care. He don't care about losing his job. He don't care. That little white girl earlier, she care. He don't care about losing his job.
I'm finna be a third person view lesson, like boy, what goes on and how you got to keep it going on. You feel what I'm saying? Especially when shit go wrong, got down, take off left on your right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't. Hey,
it sounds like he describing what happened up to the basketball court when he was going for the free throw. Like, goddamn, went up there, man, pat and shot down. I came back around, and then came back, and man, I was like, she. And I went back in, I went through the leg, round back, came up, hoop, alley, bam. He packed it down again. That's what it sounds. You don't sound like you talking about how you lost your job. You sound to me like you don't really care. Okay, that's what it sounds like to me. You're not concerned. Let's go.
So I lost my job today. Very unexpectedly, I logged on to work this morning after being off for a week and out of town with my daughter for a dance competition. Totally expecting that meeting to be kind of a catch-up session with my boss. And this lady hops on that I don't recognize. Now, we just hired somebody, and I believe today's her first day. And so I naively, for a moment, thought,
the new girl.
This must be the new girl, because she was going to be part of our team.
She the one fired your butt.
Manager as me. So I thought,
no,
maybe this is a formal introduction or... what have you.
Yeah, whatever.
And lo and behold, the new person that was on the call was actually HR.
On the phone.
My boss was a little late.
Oh, you was late too? Somebody type HR on the phone in the chat room. HR
was visibly disturbed. I could tell she was really uncomfortable. And
what'd they do?
I immediately said, "What's up?"
What's up? You was aggressive.
And she rattled off a few things in probably under 30
you
seconds.
You fired. Get your out of here.
Hopped off the call and let HR take the rest.
Yeah, you out. You gotta go.
Now, I've been in leadership in the past. I've been a boss. I know the deal. So
you know the deal. I'm glad you know. Just get your stuff, get on out of there, get your little pictures, get the gum and all your little extra pencils and all your little stuff. Get on up out of here, baby. Get on.
I'm not totally surprised by how the call went. What I'm super surprised about is their reasoning for letting me go.
What was the reason?
So
Donald
supposedly
Trump?
my performance hasn't been up to par.
Oh.
But interestingly enough, I had an annual review 2 months ago.
Nobody care about that.
And despite not getting a very big raise, I did get a very good review.
Nobody care about the government. Don't, girl, do you not know this is Donald Trump's America right about now, girl? You ain't a review. You gotta go.
Rated me higher in every
just
single
get your
category
man.
than I rated myself. That was just 2 months ago.
Get your little man, help you get your teeth fixed and everything. Get them little gaps together. Go on, get your man, baby. Get that gym.
So I'm super confused.
I'm not. You got fired. That's not
I got most of my crying out earlier. But it might happen again on this video.
Don't worry about it. Let's get somebody else. I don't want to hear you no more.
These federal job layoffs have me asking this one major question. Okay, so all these probationary employees have been let go. I think I've seen a number of like upwards of 200,000 people. Specifically, I've also seen that apparently
200,000 people laid off right now. 200,000. Somebody type 200,000 in the chat room.
there have been some layoffs in the IRS during
Praise God. We ain't worried about the IRS getting laid off.
Tax season, during peak tax season at that.
So what?
So I'm just curious about like who's going to do these jobs now.
We don't want nobody to do the taxes.
Additionally, why was the
you asking too many darn doggone questions, ma'am? We don't want the IRS to do nothing. We want the IRS to go away. If anything,
the option to choose that they had like unsatisfactory performance reviews, or they were let go because of performance. Why is that the choice that you chose? Especially,
why do we care? Why do you think that we care that the IRS employees got laid off? Why do you think we even care? Okay, now see this. I'm trying to keep this family friendly. Okay, but whenever I hear the IRS, you might as well call me some horrible names to my face. And I don't like the IRS. Okay, I didn't know who FICA was. I'm like, who is this mother named FICA? I forgot my first shit. That doggone FICA. Okay, you just robbing me out there. Go ahead.
When these people have documentation of the fact that they've had wonderful performance reviews.
Yeah,
I'm asking these questions because I'm just curious about how any of this is legal in the grand scheme.
It's legal.
If you say that somebody has been let go because of performance, do you have to then notate what the reasoning was? Does that impact them being able to get unemployed?
Do y'all have to notate why y'all audit us? Huh? Do you have to notate that? Got my blood pressure running up. Go ahead, little girl. Keep talking. Keep on talking. I'm gonna have to get her out of here. I can't deal with her no more. She ran my blood pressure up. How dare you? Don't you ever come into my broadcast defending the IRS? Who do you think you are?
And to all you government workers, I want to let you know, I want you to read my shirt, government workers. I want you to read it.
Your feeling. Now, you ain't got to look. If you're going to vote for Trump, you ain't got to be like this dude, man. Shout out to Black Men Swimming. Well, you ain't got to be all rubbing it in like that. That's going to make people not like you. Shout out to Black Men Swimming. Keep going.
I want you to read it, government workers. You see what it says?
Your feeling.
You see what it says, government workers?
But just so you know, people do not care. All you federal workers who are getting laid off, people really don't care that you're getting laid off from the IRS. We don't like the IRS. You get to ask us questions and we can't ask you questions. And now the minute we start asking you questions and you getting fired from your job, then it's a problem. We don't like the IRS.
You up here crying.
Crying. Tell them, brother.
You have to actually write down what you've done.
They lazy.
During the week.
Everybody know them federal employees lazy.
Those of us who are electricians, plumbers, HVAC, brake masons, we do that every day. When we get an injury, we have to go to a job.
That's right, brother. Shout out to all the brick masons, plumbers, electricians, all my blue collar brothers. Let me know if you get one of them Hey Big Head texts from one of these ladies. Y'all make sure y'all screenshot it and email it to me so we can post it up. You get a Hey Big Head text message, I want y'all to send it to me.
Especially in remodeling.
You advertise. Let me get you out of here. Let's get somebody else up here.
Going to lie and call out on your job just to go out with your boyfriend. Make sure when you go out, you go far away from your job. People, I can't make this up. This woman from Virginia with 4 kids called out sick on her job. She told her boss she was having very bad stomach pain. She told her boss it was that time of the month. When she told her boss she was having very bad stomach pain, her boss let her take off with no problem, even though it was going to be difficult replacing her. But when her boss let her take off, it was only one serious problem. She was lying about everything. She wasn't having stomach pain. She wasn't on her cycle. She wanted to go out with the man she recently met online. The man she met online was a pilot for Spirit Airlines. She really liked this guy. She did not want to mess it up, so she was going to go on a date with this man by any means. Now, mind you, this woman was divorced 2 times, and she recently broke up with one of her baby fathers. She had 3 baby fathers. Also, this woman recently got a promotion on her job. She was making a lot more money. Now, mind you, her 2 ex-husbands didn't help her much with the
This is fact intensive. Get to the point, brother. Get to the point.
They didn't have much money. They was in and out of prison. Also, 2 of her baby fathers she had on child support, but they didn't pay every month. They wasn't dependable. So it's safe to say this woman's job was very important to her children. Also, she didn't get government assistance. She made too much.
Somebody type tell it in the chat room. Don't tell him nothing. Don't ever tell him any. Whoever his friends are, don't tell him a doggone. He gonna tell it to the internet. Don't tell him nothing.
Money. But this woman's life would turn upside down when she lied and called out for work. You won't believe what happened to her. So when this woman called her boss and told him she was very sick and she was having stomach cramps, and she was considering going to the hospital, she was lying. She really wanted to go out to Longhorn Steakhouse with this pilot. So when this woman went out with this guy, they decided to go to Longhorn Steakhouse. It was 30 minutes from her house. When they walked in Longhorn
You telling me what are you telling me, brother?
Steakhouse, everything was going fine. But it was only one serious problem when she walked into Longhorn Steakhouse. Her boss was at Longhorn Steakhouse, and he seen her, and he was
Your boss said, so you got fired. Let's go ahead.
She was looking very nice in high heels, and he didn't understand. She said she was sick. While they was all in Longhorn Steakhouse, her boss
so she didn't lose her job. She didn't lose her job. Let's get you out of here, bro. That's too much information.
Now,
get on
I'm
out of
gonna
here.
piss some people off for real.
Oh Lord, your voice.
This is my opinion.
What is your opinion?
But to me, my opinion is real to me,
girl.
or whatever you might say. But I'm gonna say this right here.
Y'all
folks still getting on the internet, still getting on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, whatever we got, talking about 50-50.
Oh Lord.
I just seen a post where a woman said, I wouldn't do no 50-50 with a man. I ain't gonna even do 80-20. I'm more of a 15-20 type woman, 15-90 type woman. I'm this, I'm that. And then they got on here talking about Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion said she wouldn't do no 50-50 with a man. First of all, you ain't Meg Thee Stallion.
It sure ain't.
You broke to the broke stallion.
Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Meg Thee Stallion can say that she gonna be with a millionaire man and that she gonna be with a rich man. First of all, Meg
Thee Stallion, fine. Go ahead.
Stallion already got a motherfucking bag.
Now you got to watch your language. Okay, we ain't gonna be dropping them MFs in my family friendly broadcast. Now you were doing fine. Okay, you was doing fine the whole time. And then you came in here and dropped that, and you just went straight to the MF. You didn't warm up with the ASS or the SHIT, or you didn't even give me a good warning. You just dropped straight to the MF. You can't do that. Now, I'm going to have to let you go on because you look too country for me anyway. It's hard to keep up. Let's go to somebody else. Go ahead.
Let me take you on
Hold on a minute. You came straight out with the N-word. What are y'all doing to my broadcast? Are you kidding me? She just came out the box with the straight N-word. Did she hit it with the ER at the end? Control your mouth, young lady. Control your mouth.
Pay a fucking bill.
Damn, hold on a minute. Family friendly. Family friendly.
Bill. Pay a goddamn bill. Shit.
Ma'am, what is the problem? Okay, obviously, you don't want to go on a date. You just want them to pay a bill. You want the N-words to pay a mother effing bill. They're not going to pay for your bills. You're too aggressive and loud with that. Okay?
No, I don't want to
And you got 2 tattoos on your neck.
fucking go to
That's
Miami.
too many.
They just increased my health insurance, bitch. Call Kaiser and put your fucking card down.
Ain't nobody gonna pay your bills. Okay.
Please.
Broke women are hard to love, man.
No, they can be broke, but they can't cuss like that. They gonna run everybody away, bro. That's what's going on. I'm not.
And that's
she said she done messed up your time. I'm sorry. I can't have y'all. I can't have you in here. You done already. That's too much.
Any company, when the company is overspending and is in debt, they have to slash costs.
So
this is where
I can already tell you. I know this type of person. She knows everything. She the type that knows all the answers and messes up the curve in the test. She clearly knows that. She's very smart. I can tell. Go ahead. She gonna tell you ladies what you should have been doing. Don't you hate the friend like that? They always know everything. Go ahead and tell them. They ain't gonna like you.
I am really confused at why we as Americans don't understand that's what's happening with the federal government and the thousands of people who are losing their jobs with the federal government. No one likes layoffs, but we are talking about the same employees that they beg to come back to work after the C word, and you absolutely refused. You didn't want to come back to work. You wanted to protest about coming back to work. You wanted to talk about how unfair it was to go back.
This is how she break up with people. Like, you ever have to borrow some money from somebody after they gave you some advice years in the past and whatever didn't work out, and and then you got to come back there. This is the last person you want to ask for money. This is clearly her. This is the person to give you a whole lecture, okay, about what you did and how you didn't follow their advice, and they told you this was going to happen. And you went on ahead and did what you wanted to do anyway, and now here you are in her space asking her for money. This is who this is right here. Look at her eyes. You can tell. She's been waiting to give this. She's laid up and waited and thought. She set up a meeting with you, okay, to look you in the face and then they ain't gonna give you the money. They're not gonna give you the money. Okay, then they just gonna say you should listen next time. Look at it. She kept her job. You can see she got her job.
The office when the government's paying millions of dollars a year for that. We are literally spending, I want to say 21, we spent $2.4 billion for immigrants. 2022, we spent 3.4. 23, we spent over $10 billion on immigrants. Last year, it did drop to just under $5 billion on illegal immigrants. You guys don't want to come back to work.
Now, are you going to loan me the money? Look, you know what? I got to go. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I'm gone. Bye.
I lost my job. Like, literally earlier today, I made a video of me making a coffee at work. And today I lost my job. Little did I know. I walked into work today like, oh, today's going to be such a good day. I can feel it.
It obviously was not a good day. And you too happy to have lost your job. Okay. Go ahead. Let's hear you talk.
Maybe it is a good day. Like, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. And I truly just like thinking about jobs having so much control over your life. If you're able to pay your bills, if you're able to.
What you mean control over your life? You want the money, right? I mean, how you gonna get your money if you don't have a job? What you mean control? I mean, I'm just saying.
If you have children, your children being able to eat is honestly unfathomable. And like, honestly, like
you got kids too. You got kids. There's 3 baby mamas so far. Somebody type 3 baby mamas in the chat.
It's so crazy because I was talking to my friend yesterday, and I was like, I just feel like I'm not showing the type of like humility that these people want to see.
Don't nobody we wouldn't even know unless you got on the internet to tell us. Nobody would know you lost your job. You could have lost a job, had a new job, but you on the internet, you want to tell it. Why you tell all your best? Embarrassed. Go ahead.
And I'm a very confident person, but humble is something that, like, when you come from a background like me, when you've gone through the things, you've seen the things, like, humble, how can you not be humble? I walk with my head held high because the fire didn't burn me, So it's like, I know that the reason that I got fired, let go, whatever, is not actually true about me.
And it's never true. It's never true. Why it's about, I know, baby. But go ahead.
Anything, I just feel like God keeps showing me that, like, hey, what are you doing? Like, I called you into.
No, it wasn't God that fired you, baby. Don't blame God. Okay, God, I've read the Bible. The Bible does not give instructions on firing people. HR fired you. Okay, so don't bring God in this. Praise God. Don't bring the Lord in this. Blame it on HR. Okay. Blame it on Donald Trump. Don't blame Jesus. Jesus had nothing to do with this. Go ahead.
The Proverbs woman is an entrepreneur. Like, you can do this. I need you to believe in yourself as much as you believe in these jobs and in other things.
Why people get so philosophical when they get fired? They be complaining about their job, and then they get fired, and it's all philosophical and controlling me and all that.
To be able to take care of you, that I've given you what you need to take care of yourself. So I lost my job today.
You got good teeth. She's a pretty girl. You look at them teeth. That's nice. You can get you a man. Somebody try to get a man in the chat room.
Am I nervous? Yes. I'm going on vacation literally on Saturday, and I need this vacation. I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest. Okay.
What do you mean?
Like,
you can't go on vacation. You ain't got no job. How you gonna go on vacation? You're going on vacation. That's why your priorities messed up. You done lost your job and you got some kids and you going on vacation. Come on now. You don't even care.
I don't know. Like, maybe like I shouldn't have talked about like my amazing.
Maybe you shouldn't have asked for that in them vacation days. That's probably what got you fired. That's probably what it. Keep on going, baby.
Boyfriend, or I shouldn't have talked about just like sometimes
you talk about your boyfriend and your vacation at the job. We know why you got fired, girl.
Like, when you've struggled your whole life and you finally come out of the fire and you have flowers, sometimes
you back in the fire now, baby girl. You back in the fire. You cute though. She pretty. You get that boyfriend. You need to go ahead and put some pressure on him. Be like, let me go and move in with my kids.
You get excited and you're like, you think other people are gonna be excited for you, baby. They're not gonna be excited for you. They are not. They are mad. They are angry.
Ain't nobody mad at you. We don't even know you. You on the internet. Telling us you lost your job.
Like, it's like, or they don't want you to burn. Like, I'm not.
No, nobody wants you to burn. You just lost your job. Go get you another job, girl.
Saying that they want you to burn, but they want you to just. I feel like be wounded and continue to act wounded or act like.
You just making up haters now. You just making up people. You trying to look for an adversary. There ain't nobody. You lost your job because you decided that you wanted to get a vacation. Okay. And that's why you got fired. And you was probably up there telling all your business about your boyfriend, bro, bragging and whatnot at your job. Keep your mouth quiet. Don't be telling people all your business. They don't know you like that. You look like you talk a lot. You put the little lip gloss on the little your mouth before you put the camera on, because that's a fresh coat. Okay, that looked like back when Uncle D used to have 1965 a Cadillac L-Dog with the blue paint. I put that new wax job on Sunday and I go ride up and down the street. Okay. That's what you look like. Okay. You put that gloss. You ever put that gloss on your tires, right? And make them shine even if they old tire. That's what you did. You did this on purpose.
Almost unsure of yourself. But it's like when you walk through so many fires, you're so sure of yourself. And especially when you have that relationship with God, you're so sure of you and God together.
God ain't really hiring like that.
Am I nervous? Yes.
Somebody else. I know you should be.
That are losing their jobs in the federal government. There are going to be so many more implications than just them losing their jobs.
Okay, what you saying?
That's enough. I mean, I live in the Washington D.C. area, and
I'm gonna buy some of them properties
that it's affecting, and it's just so sad.
She hadn't lost her job. You can see how calm she is. She got that. She ain't lost no job. Okay, she's good. You can tell she's good. And she working on a second husband. Okay, she's got a pension. She got his Social Security. He died back around 1999. Okay, her kids. She's good. Don't. You can't listen to people like that. She don't really care either.
And I know other areas of the country that have a lot of federal workers concentrated in those areas are going to have the same thing.
She don't care.
But what maybe people aren't thinking about yet is that areas that have a lot of federal workers, their economies in that area are going to be affected.
Okay.
Meaning,
all right. What that
those
mean?
people that have lost their jobs, they're not going to be able to pay their mortgages. They're not going to be able to pay their rent.
We gonna get some cheap houses. So we gonna drive some new people can buy some houses. That's what you're saying. But go ahead.
They're not going to be able to pay their credit card bills.
All right, go ahead.
You know, if their kids go to private school, they're not going to be able to pay that either.
The kids obviously you can't send them to public school. There's some schools in Detroit. There's some nice schools in the Bronx they can go to, right? I'm sure some great public schools in where else is some good in South Side Chicago that they can go to. You can send them kids. Them kids don't need to go to that public school. Okay, you kids don't. Public school is great. I went to all the public schools. I'm from I'm from the ghetto. My high school was on Martin Luther King Boulevard. My high school was on Martin Luther King Boulevard in South Central LA. Okay, and I turned out kind of okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about. So let them kids go to public school. You can go right from that little private Catholic school, get on over there to that public school, and you're gonna learn a whole lot of new letters. Ain't gonna be no nuns there, but you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit. Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
So what's going to happen
They gonna
is the
fight.
real
Them
estate
kids gonna be
market's going to
fighting at them
bottom
schools.
out.
Go ahead.
And so, you know, that's going to affect the whole real estate market.
Oh, she worried about herself. You hear me? She's one of these people that like, who's gonna pick out fruit? This is one it's gonna affect the real estate market. So my house it was appraised 1.2 million, but because we're now in a market saturated with some homes up for sale, it's gonna drop all the way down like 890,000. Oh my God, she worried about herself. Don't y'all believe her?
People are going to start moving out.
They are too. They're gonna take
People
their kids
aren't
with
going to
them.
be able to buy things on Amazon.
Oh my God, they
can't.
can't. My stock in Amazon's gonna drop because they can't buy stock. Get up, shout out to Penny Ford.
Shop at Whole Foods. So,
baby, you talking about? You hear what she talking? She talking about Amazon, Whole Foods, and private school. It's people sitting in their car crying about to eat some cheese sandwiches at the house.
Billionaires out there, if you get
you
my
probably.
gist.
She said billionaire because you probably a millionaire. That's why. Don't be lying to us, Betty. Somebody
People
type Miss Betty in the chat room.
Able to go out to restaurants.
Oh my God, they can't go out to restaurants.
It's going to affect the economy in that way.
You don't care about y'all.
And when it comes tax time, because they've gotten rid of all these IRS workers, you're not going to get your refund that fast.
You don't get no refund because your money is all residual income, so you don't even pay taxes. Okay, you can't lie to me, Miss Betty. Okay, I know what you're doing, Miss Betty. You're sitting up there. Okay, you at the end of the day, you just pontificate. You don't have anything else to do. Okay, your children went to private school. Okay, you don't know. You're talking to like this. You don't concern for anybody. You just talking, Miss Betty.
And if they're cutting all these other people from different services, whether it's the Social Security area or Medicaid, whatever, if you get services from those areas, you might not be able to get a hold of people as easily. You might not have been able to get a hold of them as easily.
Miss Betty is not trying to be inconvenient. Miss Betty, let me go ahead. You need to go on back, take your nap. Let's get Miss Betty up out. Let's get somebody in here with some real issues. Praise God. Go ahead, Miss Betty. Go on.
I am a little bit triggered. Let me tell you why. All right, so in
What's
this
wrong,
video,
baby?
the girl was like, if you have a 2-income household, you should not be struggling. Somebody in your household does not know how to manage money.
Probably
Then I looked at the comments, and the comments was like, oh, people living beyond their means, what I'm saying? People having too many kids that they can't afford.
Why did that strike a nerve with you? Did your husband tell you don't live within your means, baby? How many kids you got? I'm just asking because it looked like if you responded to the video, somebody done struck a nerve with you. Okay, I'm just saying. Somebody typed that nerve in the chat room.
Y'all know I got 3 kids, right?
That's what it is.
So that's why I'm a little bit.
That's why your nerve is
I
struck.
feel like me and my husband make good money, and I feel like we do not live like above our means. So say like we have 3 daughters, we have a home, we have 1 vehicle.
Y'all got 1 vehicle.
When I tell you,
I
feel like we did everything right, and nothing could have prepared me for what the economy became after 2020. I'm a nurse, so 2020 was like a really shaky year.
You spending too much money. That's what it is, and people put that on the internet, and that hit that nerve. And your husband be telling you the same thing. We need to tighten our belts. I'm working too hard. Got all these kids. Okay, we need to say that. We ain't got but one car. We trying to get another car. I can't get another car, girl. You out there doing too much. Okay, you're doing too much Amazon shopping. You need to get like Miss Betty. You need to have a conversation with Miss Betty about it saving. Okay, that's what it seemed like. Go ahead.
Like I was teaching, and then I went back to bedside, and then I did travel contracts just to get the bag.
So you was traveling, and you a travel nurse.
But even still,
all right, then. Travel nurse,
making the most money you've ever made. Like there are just things that cost money now that we never had to account for in the past. Like daycare prices went up astronomically.
That's because you got all them kids. You got all them kids. You done fell out with your mama, and she don't want to watch them kids for you for free. Okay, at least your mama would have babysit, but you done fell out with her because you're too fast, and you trying to tell her who she need to be and what she need to do. Now she don't want to watch them kids for you. Now you got to pay the real daycare center.
After COVID,
but we know why you triggered.
There was like a waiting list, and then all of a sudden, everybody who could provide a service.
Yeah, they got to pay.
Bullied into submitting a resignation for a job that I worked really hard for, that I qualified myself for, that I've given years of the federal government service for, and I'm well qualified. So it's not because I was a bad performer at work, and it's not because there was.
So you got fired, but it's a job that you was well qualified for, and they bullied you into signing a document saying that you wasn't doing very well. Is that what you're trying to get us to believe? Go ahead. Let's let it. I know the audio is low, but y'all need to listen faster. Okay? Somebody type listen faster. When the audio is low, you need to listen faster so I don't have to repeat this. Somebody type listen faster in the chat room. Okay? Don't be in here complaining about my audio. Okay? Listen faster. Let's go.
Funding at work. And it's not because of inefficiencies or anything like that. It's because sometimes, I guess, in war, there are always casualties. And I'm not going to say much, but I was forced to resign. But
you need to go back to Nigeria, baby girl, and get you a husband. Okay, that's what you need to do. You need to get on back there and go to your tribe. Okay, and talk to the chiefs. And get yourself set up with a husband. That's what you need to do. Okay, it's obviously a little job you did. You didn't do what your parents said do. Your parents told you, you need to go to a doctor, be a doctor, go to medical school, an engineer. That's what they. And you want to go work for the federal government. Whose fault is that? You ain't listen to your parents. You was a disobedient child. If you was a doctor, you have a job. Because we got plenty of sick people out here. But you ain't listen. I'm gonna go ahead, keep explaining. Keep on explaining.
When you work for something that you own, it's really hard for it to be taken away. And I spent all those years working on something to earn, and I'm gonna switch my mindset and start doing things differently. I'm never gonna step into a 9-to-5 again because I gave
you should have did what your daddy said do. Work, go do something else.
Too much of it, and I have nothing left for myself to give.
Nothing at all.
So moving forward,
you spend all this time working on your career instead of working on getting a husband. And now you got nothing. You ain't got a job. No retirement, no nothing. You're pretty though. You're a pretty girl. But you made a mistake. But it's not too late. You still look good. Still good looking. Let's see what's happening.
For the federal government and you work for home, you got until February the 6th to agree to go back to work in office or you will be terminated. Meaning you will lose your fucking job just because you don't.
Damn, little lady. Look, first of all, watch your language. That's what you do. Okay, first of all, watch your language. Okay, you don't need to be saying all that. If you just tone down them MFers, okay, you just tone that down a little bit and be a little bit more ladylike. I'll let you stay on the show. Okay, now go ahead and make your point. Somebody, make sure when you hear them say these words, y'all hit family friendly because I'm not trying to get my channel demonetized for these people. Okay, go
back to work in office. Now, in my opinion, I feel like that's some straight bullshit because you got people who actually benefit off working from home. Like single mothers who don't really have the support. They have to cook, clean, wash everything, take their kids to school, pick their kids up, have to just be at home. And it's easier to just be at home and work from home as well.
First of all, when you speak and your nose flare, okay? When your nose flare like that, I don't believe nothing you're saying. You want those people to speak and your nose flare. I'm gonna let y'all see it again. And then you dropping all these profanities. And the other thing is, why is the fact that you need to stay home and watch your kids the problem of the federal government? Okay, why is that the federal government's problem? We, the taxpayers, need you to be at your job to answer that phone call when we trying to call and get our Social Security situation taken care of. Okay, that's what you need to understand. But let's go ahead.
Take their kids to school, pick their kids up, have to just be at home, and it's easier to just be at home and work from home as well. Then you got some people who work from home on site locations be far as hell from their house. Like, how do you expect? Like, that's so crazy. This is gonna hurt a lot of people, y'all. But at the end of the day gonna have to end. All I can say is get on your knees and pray, my friend. If you are a federal government worker who cannot work from home anymore and also can't work in office, or just go ahead and be starting looking for y'all another job because y'all already know when Donald Trump say some shit, he mean it. Also saying like he trying to do some type of buyout to like federal workers, like offering them money to like resign from their jobs. And in my opinion, I would not resign because I don't feel like they're gonna pay. And then they only saying like they paying like.
Now you giving them people bad advice. They stay on their job and got fired anyway. All those people that stayed on their job and got fired
like 6
anyway.
months of work. So you got 6 months to find you another job.
Yeah.
And if you don't find another job in 6 months, you're just fucking broke.
I'm gonna have to get you.
When you could have just kept your job, worked for 6 months, and then 6 months more, and 6 months more, and 6 months more, and 6 months more until they actually just fucking fired you, and then you get on the.
That's too much.
So you made an appointment.
Yeah.
For how to.
Yeah. Somebody go get it.
And don't have the funds.
Always. Just like how I plan vacation and don't have paid time off.
Girl, what the hell? Are you some kind of hooker or something? Sir, you need to be running. Because she begging on the first goddamn day.
That's smart.
A lot of that.
That usually works. I hear you.
No, but I made the appointment because I had to tell her, and all I do is just cash up the money.
Yeah.
That's it. It's something like that.
So where I fit in that equation?
Whatever you cash at me, I'm sending it her.
Oh, so I got to cash up you something.
So this chick is begging on the first date. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that going on. Let's go on ahead and ease on down to some more people. Begging on the first date.
Since I've been laid off from the Internal Revenue Service,
Wait,
well, it has been a total of 4 whole days. So this is all new to me because I've always had a job since I.
Your lashes look good though, girl. Your lashes long and luxurious. But go ahead. She laid off from the IRS. Keep going.
Started working at age 16, so I always had income coming in. And I'm older now. I'm 24, and
ooh, you way up there. You got that big old age of 24. Go ahead.
I have an apartment. I have bills.
Lashes. You got lashes. What else you got?
I have a daughter, so I have great.
Somebody type baby mama in the chat room. Single mother in the chat room.
Responsibilities.
You do. You got a lot of responsibilities.
So when I got laid off from my job, you know that I immediately thought I have to get a new job. I didn't immediately think about unemployment because I knew unemployment could not pay my bills.
So what you telling us? You dealing with a lot. That's what's going on. You're dealing with a lot. Go ahead.
So when I first got home from being laid off, I immediately updated my resume, and I just started putting in applications.
Now, you do know it's a lot of other people out there trying to get jobs too, right now, okay? A lot of other women and men who are out there trying to get jobs right now. You just put your little resume out there. I don't know. Let's keep going.
So far, I think.
Ooh, your bangs though, baby girl. Your bangs is. Never mind. That ain't the type. We don't talk about that on this show.
I may have put in over 30 applications. So hopefully I'll get a call back either this week or next week regarding an interview.
Get your man.
I have faith.
Where's your baby daddy at?
That I find a new job that'll support me and my daughter so we can live the lifestyle that we were living before I was laid off from the Internal Revenue
Lifestyle
Service.
we were living.
I have applied for.
Now you work at the IRS. Look, I can't really feel sorry for you because you work at the IRS. I don't like the IRS. They done took too much of my money. They done audited me like twice. I'm good on the IRS. I don't like to get them the letters from them. You owe us $900,000. You better have it by the 15th of next month. That you sent that letter to me. I know you did. That's why I don't really feel sorry for you. I'm trying to get some sympathy, but I don't feel sorry for you. Go ahead.
Food stamps. Hopefully I get a call back from the food stamp office to schedule an interview and give them any documentation that they may need.
You might as well interview for a job. If you're gonna interview for food stamps, just go interview for a job. Go ahead.
I did apply for unemployment, so I'm waiting to get a call back from them also. And me and my daughter, we have 30 days on the federal health benefits program, so I need to go ahead and I need to set my daughter up on state Medicaid or state All Kids,
baby girl,
whichever one she fits the criteria for. And I've already started budgeting.
Lord,
I wrote down all my bills. I'm not spending any extra money.
You better than that other one talking about she going on a doggone vacation. Go ahead.
Is to find a new job so I will not have to touch any of my money in my savings. But
you gonna have to touch
if need be, I will, because that's what the savings is for times like this.
Where's your baby
daddy?
And
I'm grateful that I do have a savings.
I'm grateful too. Where's your baby daddy at? Where's your baby daddy?
And
where's your husband? Where's your husband at? That's what I want to know. Call up your roster. Don't you have a roster? Don't you ladies have a roster? Call up your roster. Okay.
It's just self-discipline. Because I know I do want to be able to stay in my apartment, keep my car. I don't want my bills to get behind.
Call your mama.
I have been checking my emails, putting in applications anywhere where I may fit the criteria.
You need to make her with your mama. Make her with your mama. So, move back in with your mama.
I just found out that I got rejected for 2 jobs that I spent about a month interviewing for, and
that's because you got a nose ring.
My very hardest.
I just want you to understand something. You want to know why you got rejected for them 2 jobs? Because you got a nose ring and you got a Hebrew insignia on the front of your throat. That's why you got rejected for them 2 jobs. Okay, I can tell you now. I'm just telling you now. If I was on the HR, somebody type HR, I'd be like, nah, she looked like she up here with the hieroglyphics on the throat. We don't want to work in here. But go ahead.
Not take it so personally and to not be so severely hurt over it, because I really do feel like I'm at the end of my rope and I'm just mentally and just physically exhausted.
You too young to be mentally and physically exhausted. You too young for that. First thing, you need to take that little nose ring out and get you a button up, okay? And that's what you need to do first, and go try to find your man. Hopefully somebody with his own nose ring. Y'all can have a little matching nose rings, okay? But it's hard out there, baby girl. It's a pretty girl pop. We in some pretty girl poverty. Somebody type pretty girl poverty in the chat room.
I am so
get your man
of job searching. I'm so tired of getting rejected for jobs that I feel like I have the necessary qualifications for. I'm tired of getting rejected for jobs that I feel like
get your man.
And it's just like, yeah, there's other opportunities out there.
Not a lot.
These 2 particular jobs were at a university that I really wanted to work at because I worked as a student and I really liked it. And now that
you want to work at the university with the nose ring and the tattoos on your throat, that's what you telling us. You gonna work at the university, baby girl? You come on now. Can't just look. You got. I mean, you know what I'm saying. You got to do better. I mean, just look at you and then think about it.
That I know that I'm not going to get that opportunity.
No, you know.
It's crushing me. It really crushes me. And it's so hard because I feel like I'm one of them people who it's hard for me to navigate social media
because I can admit I get jealous. I can be a jealous person.
Why are you jealous?
And you know, seeing people reach their goals and
seeing people with jobs and married, because that's usually what happens. But go ahead, sweetness. Go ahead.
You're still so far away from yours.
That's because you got that nose ring.
It hurts.
You got that nose ring and that tattoo with that butterfly across your chest, looking like that's why it hurts. Okay, but you know you made it a little bad, but you'll be all right. You get your man. I'm gonna talk to you like you need to find your man. There's some of them out there. They'll pick you up, even though you got the little tattoos on your chest.
Favorite followers sent me a video of some collage of pictures that a young lady was posting, and it was an unpopular opinion, and she wanted my opinion on it. And the young lady, she didn't say anything wrong, but you know, saying something like,
why you got to get on here with that bonnet? Why you baby? Why you got to get on here with that bonnet? Why can't you just put your wig back on? I know it's sitting over there next to the dresser. Go on, put your wig back on, because you distracting me. Okay, you distracting me with that doggone purple. And why I got to be purple? It don't match nothing in the house. Okay, go on here though.
Like if you broke as a woman, you shouldn't be dating. Oh, they went off, child. Okay, maybe her delivery was a little whack. So, and she don't know how to reach y'all. So let me word it in the way that she should have said it so that it can reach y'all better. Because I hear you. I know y'all, they called her pick me and everything else. She was just genuinely trying to educate y'all, but her delivery was whack. She lost you. So let me break it down, give you Annie's point of view, all right? So, first of all, I will say, as a woman, your financial status doesn't matter. You could meet a man that come from wealth and all types of power and money. If you are dirt poor, you don't have to be educated, have the negative 32 cents to your name. If a man wants you, ain't none of that is gonna stand in his way. He gonna get his woman.
Now, I don't know what kind of advice she giving and what we were talking about, but basically she said if a woman is broke, she don't need to date at that time. That's probably, you should have been dating. If you broke, you should have been dating.
Look at how many women who didn't come from nothing are married to millionaires and billionaires. Why? Because that man actually wanted them. You don't.
Where's your man at? I want to talk to him. Does he know you on the internet with this purple bonnet, giving out advice to other women about what they need to be doing to get millionaire men? Where's your millionaire at? I don't give advice on this channel. I talk about stuff other than that. But I like to know all these women telling women how to get these millionaires and all these. You should make them show us the ring and the marriage certificate from the millionaire that they have. Shout out to B. Tisdale. So I'm gonna let this slide. We don't want to hear all this food, this stuff. Let's go back to the folk talking.
Never advertise myself as a girl's girl because y'all want us to co-sign BS just because we're all women. Like, no. I made a post about broke men. Y'all doing squats, jumping, flipping to enter the chat. Oh yeah. When I make a post about broke women not having a job, honestly, everybody should just do what works for them.
Let me just be honest. Most women are broke. This society is set up to be for more work hours. It's more helpful to men. Okay, men are able to be. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later on. But yeah, but baby, look, women are. If you broke, fine. It's not a sin. Okay, men being broke, that's more of a problem because men are expected to be provided.
I have never seen a woman make a broke man rich, but I have seen plenty of men make broke women rich. Do you think we have a problem in the society? Oh yes, I think we have many problems in this.
Her voice don't match her face. I'm gonna just go ahead. I don't want to. That's confusion. Let's go to somebody else. Yeah.
Today's news: leaders of organizations are, voicing their frustrations about everything that's going on with federal government and how things are rolling out, and how disappointing this is, and all of this stuff, y'all. Okay. And while they're expressing these frustrations, all I kept thinking was, who you voted for? Because most of them, the majority, probably voted for this. But now you're
disappointed.
Go ahead.
It's
We voted for it just so we
frustrating.
can.
Because of Trump.
I'm not
Listen,
disappointed.
I know that firing people is his favorite thing to do, and that's what we love in a leader. Somebody who takes glee in firing people. That's somebody with integrity, correct? Correct. We love this.
Yeah, he said he was gonna do it.
Today, when I was working on a project for a contract, this was a 2-year contract that the executive director reached out to me and said, hey, Noelle, I know you just got laid off. I have something. It's just a couple of hours a week, but we're looking to get someone that can help us with this program. We're getting women into trade jobs, and we just need them to be able to get the training and support that we need.
She got fired from her federal job, and she's blaming Donald Trump. But the American people elected Donald Trump, so we obviously wanted this to happen. Your federal job fired you. Go ahead.
Leaders have what they need to make sure that women feel included when they get into these roles. Want it to be as smooth as possible. I know that you can do it. Can you take this job? And it was just enough to keep me afloat and do something that makes an impact. And the Department of Labor said today that I had to stop working.
So you got fired from 2 jobs. That's what you're telling me. You got fired from one federal job, then got fired from another federal job. That's nothing to be proud of.
I'm gonna have people in my comments that are thrilled that somebody like me who helps people with disabilities, who helps veterans, who helps pregnant women, who helps parents, who helps Black, Indigenous, and other people.
You ain't helping them. We got to pay you to do that. Help is when you do something for free. We pay you to do that. The American people are tired of paying y'all to help do stuff like that. That's what you don't understand.
I know that they are so gleeful that people like me get fired for helping others. I know that that makes their day.
That ain't.
But that's what it is, and I'm so proud.
So it's our fault you got fired. It's our fault. It's our fault you got fired, or we can't even comment on it. That's what you saying? I mean, you need to burn some sage, baby, and rub on your rocks.
I am so proud of the legacy that I built.
You don't have a legacy. You work for the federal government. No one will remember you. You didn't do nothing. You need a husband. That's what you need. You need to get your little chubby self a husband.
Sure that workplaces are the kind of places where they can get the support that they deserve, and they
don't nobody care.
To see
don't nobody care.
Everything I worked for get ripped away is hard.
It's not yours.
DEI has always evolved, and I talk about this all the time. I will figure out a path forward for myself, but I am so infuriated, and I hope the price of eggs is worth it to you people.
Oh, now you, man. So you ain't. Yeah, that's why we don't feel bad for them people, because they be now they bitter. All right, let's see what this little lady has to say.
Learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make it out of anything. So
okay. Somebody go, okay, knowing you the shit, make it out of anything. The flex is being in love with yourself.
Here I am, day by day.
All right, you know how when they say a few minutes later, right? Isn't that what they say?
This isn't new for me, but at the end of the day, what the fuck I have to lose? I lost my job in December. I have been working at TJ Maxx up the street from my dad and stepmom's house here in San Antonio ever since. Very thankful to have a job, but it does not pay enough.
Now you were just saying this a minute ago.
Learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make it out of anything. So here I am.
Now you always
street from my dad and stepmom's house here in San Antonio ever since. Very thankful to have a job, but it does not pay enough. I don't have a car currently, and I really need one. So if anybody knows any kind of resources, places I can go to, my credit's not that great, please, anything.
I'm not gonna laugh at this young lady, but I just want y'all to understand. She worked at TJ Maxx. She don't have a car. She lived with her mom and dad. If this was a dude, okay, on the internet begging for help, right, y'all would be laughing at this dude. But this is a woman, so we're not gonna laugh, okay? Whew, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I just need somewhere to start. I also don't have anywhere to live. So if anybody...
So you done fell out with your dad and your stepmom, and they putting you out. Let's run this down. You lost your job at TJ Maxx. You're probably walking there every day because it's down the street. You're in San Antonio living with, and nobody wants to go to San Antonio. And you're living in San Antonio, so wherever you're from, you have to leave there and take it on down to San Antonio. You don't have a car. What you been doing with your life? What you been doing with your life, baby? Baby, what you been doing?
Has any resources there? I don't know if I'm going to come back to Southern Illinois or St. Louis area, or if I'm going
to... You ain't from San Antonio. Your daddy done moved all the way to Texas to get away from you in his past life. And you done moved down to San Antonio, okay, get a job with no money and no car to get a job at TJ Maxx, and you done lost that job. How'd you lose your job at TJ Maxx? What were you in there doing? Was you not putting, you probably thought you was too good for that job because you over here making videos like this. That's what you did. Look what you did.
Every day I'm learning that the real flex is just being in love with yourself and ignoring the world and knowing that you the shit and that you can make it out of anything. So here I am, day by day.
I bet I could figure out.
Here in San Antonio, but yeah, I just need to figure something out. So if anybody has any ideas, please tell them.
I'm gonna tell you what my idea is. Be honest with you. Okay, from one light-skinned person to another. I don't deal with light-skinned women. You're too difficult to deal with. But I know there's plenty of colorless men out here. In this chat room, they got their own plumbing business. Plenty of colorists. I hate to be ignorant, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Dudes are super fit. There's plenty of little colorist dudes out there. Okay, they'll pick you up, girl. I got some African brothers up in here. They'll pick you up. They'll get you together. Okay. It seemed to me like you might be the problem. TJ Maxx don't like you. Your daddy, new girlfriend don't like you. I'm just saying, your car, you ain't got a car. Okay. There's a couple things going on with you. Okay, you might be turched in the head a little bit. Sound like you got a little turched. All right. Somebody spell that from T-R-C-H-E-D, turched. That might be it. Might be a little turched. That run with them light-skinned girls. They be turched in the head. They the type to get out your car drunk, walk around in the street in the middle of the night because they got a bad text message. Okay, you don't want to deal with them. Get you a brown girl. Get you a brown girl. Don't fool with them, especially if you're light skinned. I done dealt with a couple of light skins. It's like looking at the devil in the eye when you deal with a light skinned woman. Leave them alone. You're a little churched. Okay, I'm just saying. I love all my sisters. Love all the colors and whatnot. You know, Uncle D don't discriminate. I like them chocolate, baby. You know what's happening. I like them light, whatever. But I know what I know. And see that smile right there on your face, baby girl. That's sinister. Let me let you go on here and rest and pray. I'm gonna pray for you. I don't know who you pray to, but you know what? I can sense what the problem is with that. I already know what the issue is with that right there. Let's go on here and get somebody else up in here. Go ahead.
9-to-5 workers, everyday Americans, are out here celebrating because we just cost over 220,000 people. Well, not we, y'all did, because I ain't do this stuff. But over 220,000 people have lost their jobs with the federal government. Not based on merit, just based on when they were hired. I thought we wanted a meritocracy. I thought we wanted to prove that people were actually...
No, we want low taxes. That's not what we want. We don't give a darn. We want low tax. Shout out to Penny Ford. Shout out to Penny Ford. Somebody said... I usually don't read these super chat, but this is right. Grandma said wet panties and a dry purse don't matter. Ain't that the truth?
Be able to do their jobs. We didn't do performance reviews. You don't want to do that, see, because then if that's the case, you got to get rid of every member of the cabinet.
No, we don't. We want them to get rid of these federal workers. I don't know what's wrong. Why y'all acting like
been appointed, and also your president.
He's your president too. Okay, he's your president too. Stop acting like that. You don't care if you don't like. I want.
You don't want that, but you also don't want to feed people.
Ain't our job to feed people. What you mean? We got to feed. They wasn't feeding people. They were paying for sex changes in Honduras. That's what they were paying for. Okay?
Take care of them. I thought we didn't like entitlements, but you just put 220,000 people in line for government assistance and food stamps. How do you think they're going to feed their kids?
We not going to pay them. They're going to get them a job in the private sector, like that little crying girl from before.
And what happens when their children that they were being able to send to private school, now they come to public school and they outshine your little Billy?
Oh, when they go to they're going to go from private school to public school. Ain't going to be no, Johnny, come sit down and we're going to center ourselves before they're going to get hit in the side of the mouth. And we're going to see if they had them good grades. All you little private school kids out there. Now you're in public school. I want to see you be able to concentrate as well as you did in private school. Get them little good grades that you got in private school when, when you have some little baby thugs threatening your life in the 7th grade every day. Okay? I bet them grades going to drop significantly. There ain't no therapy in public school. There ain't going to be no go visit the psychologist on campus psychology. Oh, hell no. You coming down here with the broke folk competing. I ain't worried about that extra stress that these kids are going to have to
And what happens when their children that they were being able to send to private school, now they come to public school and they outshine your little Billy Bubby in everything that he thought he was good at.
Billy Bubby can hunt, fish. He knows how to operate the tractor. He can help you get your backhoe together when the chains fell off of it. What you mean? You better not. Don't care about some little soft hand private school kid. What is wrong with you, Billy Bubba? Don't talk about Billy Bubba. God darn it. Let's keep going.
What happens when they enter back into the workforce? Because they have to work.
They don't have to work. They can stay home. But go ahead. Let's see what you're saying.
Postings that your company currently has, now all of a sudden you are filled with people around you.
Don't nobody want no government workers working for us. Everybody know them government workers be looking at the clock at 4:55, be ready to leave, always talking about when we going to get that overtime. Get on up out of here. What you talking about? Go ahead.
At work every single day that prove you are not worthy of the position that you hold.
No, you obviously are not worthy of your position because they got fired from their job. Don't be around here trying to flip the script. We didn't get fired from my job. They got fired from their job, and now they're going to come to my job and tell me I'm not worthy. Get on up out of here. What's wrong with you?
And then 5 months, 6 months from now, you're in the exact same position.
Oh, so you saying they gonna come up with, well, you know, we just not gonna hire them then. All my people in HR, don't hire them then, so they gonna take our job.
Most people, over 70% of Americans, are a $200 disaster away. That's a flat tire.
They're out here broke. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
My job today because of Trump. And listen,
yeah, you angry. I'm gonna get you up out of here. Let's get somebody else in here. Okay, because y'all getting beside y'all self. That's what y'all doing. Y'all a little too aggressive.
Today, after 20 years, no reason given, no conversation, no one called me, just a shitty formal letter.
Ma'am, Karen, you're going to watch that language, okay? You're not going to come in here with your profane language and disturb our peace. But go ahead, Karen.
And then I found out that someone I thought had my back was holding the knife. And that's got me kind of shaken. I can be, despite my snarky nature, I can be naive sometimes. And
we can tell that you're snarky. We can tell that, Karen. Karen, we know where you got fired. Go ahead.
Didn't see it coming. Feeling pretty down. The dogs are helping, of course.
Oh, of course. The dogs are
They always do.
I know.
Hi, guys.
Yes.
I have 6 fosters right now.
Well, you
and
ain't
I'll keep
able to feed them. You ain't gonna be able
doing
to
this, and I feel like once I get over this, I'll be in a better.
She looked like her name is Karen Reinhold. Karen Reinhold.
Place overall. I just kind of need some help getting through this hurt. So,
what you looking for, girl? The sugar daddy? What you mean help? What you mean? Ain't nobody coming up there with all them dogs. Need some help. Somebody type help in the chat room.
If you have any advice or just words of support, I would really appreciate it.
What advice do y'all have for Karen Reinhold? Well, I don't have any advice for her, Karen. I don't know. We can do what you.
I'm a recently laid off federal employee and I'm starting the job hunt. So let's go. Outside of your typical LinkedIn or Indeed, I found a few specific job boards that I think cater to former federal employees. I wanted to share them. So first up, I would apply for Civic Match job listing.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get no job like that.
Meeting today because unfortunately we had to make the very difficult decision to do several layoffs, as we all know, because of the loss of federal funding. So the agency, the admin, had tried to do everything possible in their hands to mitigate the issue and try to work on things, but
it sounds like she's getting fired.
Sadly, we do not have the possibility right now to keep you in your current position or offer you a different one at this time. But we.
So. Yeah.
What? What happened? Tell us, baby. Tell us what happened.
I know that God is faithful.
There we go with God. God ain't got nothing to do with that. HR did that.
He has a plan for my family, and everything I truly believe happens for a reason, and He's gonna provide. I know.
No. Look? The food stamp office is gonna provide till you get a new job. Okay, your unemployment is gonna provide unless you've been getting paid under the table. That's the Lord is busy. Okay, it's people who are sick. You just didn't get your little job. Where's your man at? That's what we need to know. Somebody type, where's your man at? Somebody said they fired Sade. Y'all are so evil. You are some evil people in my chat room. Y'all are evil on the inside. I got some good looking people, handsome, beautiful people, but y'all are evil on the inside, laughing at these people's pain. I'm not in here laughing at these people's pain. I'm trying to give critical analysis. Okay, and I'm trying to lay a foundation, okay, so that we can have an intellectual conversation about the economy. And I'm showing you real life examples. This is purely for demonstrative purposes. Somebody says smooth operator. Y'all are so ugly. Y'all are so ugly. Y'all leave baby Sade alone. That baby is hurting.
And I'm going to be able to
smooth operator.
What he has
smooth operator. Coast to coast, Norway to Chicago, Western Man.
Thank you, because I've grown almost to 10,000 followers. I want to say thank you to you guys. I know God has something in store for me, and I'm going to continue to say yes.
Smooth operator. Come on, everybody. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's right. She's gonna be all right. She cute.
I have news that I don't want to share with you. But I have. Okay, I'm prepared. And this is why I was telling you yesterday all the things that I said, which 100% are true. I am so proud of you and the work that you've done. As part of a company-wide restructure, we had to eliminate certain roles, and unfortunately, your role has been affected.
Now you getting fired by them white people and you smiling at them all like that. Oh, go ahead.
I really enjoyed working with you. And like I said,
they obviously didn't enjoy working with you, girl. They firing you for all them doggone words. Go ahead.
A million times I feel like a proud mom, like seeing you blossom and
your mama didn't fire you. That white woman is firing you. Ma'am. Go ahead.
Wonderful teammate. Has been nothing short of a true pleasure. I don't ever look at things like this as like it's happening to me. It's more so happening for me.
Happening for you. Getting fired is happening for you.
Yeah. So again, I'm sorry. I know you're an optimistic person, so it sucks. I'm sorry. It's all a part of the process. To me, I've learned so much. Obviously, like I'm sad. Like
you learn how to fire people. You learn that people ain't gonna keep you around when they ready to go. Go ahead. You pretty though. She's a pretty girl. Got a lot of pretty girls getting fired.
People that I'm not here, but I don't necessarily have to part ways. I can still talk to them. And this might just be that final step that God's like, okay, you're gonna go all in. You need to go all in. Thank you.
You should have been going all in before you lost your job, so you could be like, hey, I'm quitting because I got my own business popping over here. Bam, I'm good. But you now you want to go all in. And you want to go all in?
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
You fine though. You a fine one. You can get your man. Get your man. Where your man at? Get your man, girl. And clean up the back over there. Where you watching stuff over there in the corner over there? What the hell is going on out there with all your little stuff showing? Talk to us. What you gonna say something now? I don't want all this dead air. What you gonna say? Are you taking too long to get to the point? Let me go. I ain't about to just sit up here and look at you. Go ahead. Better say something quick. Yeah, get on up out of it. We're gonna get you on up out of it. Let's see what you got to say.
2 weeks notice when we leave a job. My coworker left for her lunch break at 4:30 yesterday, came back around 5 o'clock talking about my husband was just fired. He works third shift, so his shifts usually start at 6:30, 7 o'clock. They literally emailed him 2 hours before his
Let's get somebody else in here.
Work, and they let me know that I was getting laid off today, and so I was laid off from work today, and it's a lot, like, you know, there's the fires going on in LA, my birthday just happened a few days ago, I thought this was going to be my year, and I just got laid off. I've been at this company for over 6 years, and, you know, I don't even know what to do. Obviously, I have to file for unemployment. I'm just like in shock. But here's the biggest thing. A few months ago, I filed a sexual assault investigation at work because something happened. And around like December, they finally finished the investigation.
Oh, that's why you got fired. You out there filing them essay against people. That's why they fired you.
And they really didn't do anything. And, you know, a month later, here I am getting let go. And I just feel like this seems very fishy. And I don't know too much about the law. But if there's any, like, lawyers on here, and if somebody can help.
Hello. I was a federal worker who had 1 month left of her probationary period. And today I was told that I would be terminated at some point this week. I'm utterly devastated. I'm confused because my recent performance evaluation.
Don't be confused. You got fired. Don't be confused. They fired you, baby. That's what happened. There's nothing confusing about that. You was terminated. Go ahead.
Worker.
Go ahead. Let's
this week. I'm utterly devastated. I'm confused because my recent performance evaluation was exceptional and I got upwards of $1,500 as a bonus because my performance was so good.
You don't need that $1,500. Somebody type $1,500 in the chat.
And this was my dream job, and it's just being taken away by an administration who doesn't care about science. It doesn't care.
You know, your daddy voted for Trump, so did your brother. But go ahead, baby.
Care about people who might be homeless with their dog now. They don't care about our species.
Homeless with their dogs. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, keep talking.
With their dog now. They don't care about our species that we're trying to conserve. That's exactly what my job was doing. It was just to assess habitat conservation for species for a 55-year habitat conservation plan. We should all be so mad right now.
First time ever, I regret voting Republican.
Oh, yeah.
Lost my job today.
Darn it.
Was cut out by Doge.
All right.
I'd had that job for 20 years.
Man.
I was part of the Piper study.
Okay.
It's and we were so close to solving this, and
get you on
Wanted
up
me not
out of
having a job, and it's time for me to tell the story of who the fake did I work for.
Let's go.
No, I don't have a story. I wanted a story, but I don't have one. I work for a nonprofit. People have been asking, and our federal funding got cut because of the new administration.
Woo!
And that's okay.
That's right.
It's not okay. But I'm going to be okay. I am down here at the unemployment office filing for my unemployment because your girl still need her coin. And I am still processing all of this. It really hit me this morning when I did not have to get up to go to work.
Yeah, that's when it hit you.
But in the meantime, in between time,
I
will be job hunting. I will be taking a break.
I will
be self-reflecting. I will be
all these beautiful women leaving their job. All these women, all
I
these
just will.
girls.
That's it.
You're gonna be all right.
I'm here. Follow me.
Get your man. Get your man. That's what I want you to do. Get your man. Get your man, baby. Get your man.
I'm 2 years old and I have about $100,000 worth of debt to my name, and I just lost my job to the Palisades fire.
Oh,
That was my
no.
main source of income, and we will be closed indefinitely while the Palisades rebuilds. It's really upsetting. It's not just rich people being affected by this. A coworker literally lost his home to this
You
fire.
got $100,000 in debt. You need a man. That's what you need. You need a man. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
I'm glad that I had a little cash savings saved
Glad
up.
you had
I
it.
have about $2,000 saved in cash, so that will hold me over for literally only a month. I live in Hollywood, and we did get an evacuation order for the Sunset Fire. I had left to San Diego at around 7 a.m. just because I was scared. My roommate, though, stayed behind, and she had left once we got that evacuation order. This is my roommate. I fled!
Y'all got each other. Y'all got each other.
But genuinely, this is really devastating. Literally, the whole
I know.
Palisades is
I know it's
burnt to
devastating.
crisp.
I know.
It is.
We're going to get you up out and get some more people in there.
On Monday. No, I'm not a federal worker. I work in healthcare and I work from home. This is not a small company. This is a company like United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Don't want to really specifically name my company, but yeah. So some of these healthcare companies depend on government subsidies to keep things going for their members. And my company was one of those. Back in November, right after the election, we had a meeting and they told us like, hey, we might be doing some layoffs and some terminations. However, we don't know yet. We're playing it by ear. Well, the day after the inauguration was the first meeting. If you received that email, you were let go. So people lost their jobs.
You lost your job. All right.
I don't know what to do.
What you going to do?
I lost my job.
Oh, Lord.
That's the first time I've ever been fired.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Ma'am.
I don't know what to do now.
You're going to have to get another job. That's what
I
you
was
got
in
to do.
charge of my department.
Oh, you was the boss and you lost your job. So you fired people.
Keep me?
No, they can't keep. No, they don't want you.
We had 2 functions in my department.
What was it? What was it?
The first one was handing out golden condoms to leprechauns.
Oh, Lord.
And we chased those little shits.
You out here playing.
I mean, we chased them.
You get you out of here. You joking.
Hi. So, because of Trump, I lost my job.
Okay, that's too bad.
Yeah, my entire department, we lost.
We'll get on up out of here, baby. You keep
counselor
going.
last week, and they told me why, even though I'm applying to jobs that I am qualified or overqualified for on Indeed, I keep getting rejected. So apparently on Indeed, jobs and recruiters get charged for every application that they don't respond to. So they said if they get 50 applications, they might just pick the top 20 and then auto reject the rest of them so they don't get charged that fee. It's genuinely sick. So like you have to go and apply on the company website, even though the process is way longer. You probably won't hear anything back anyway. That's your best chance, is applying on the company website. Because I'm not kidding you, I have a bachelor's degree in political science, and like I've gotten denied from Taco Bell and Burger King. And like I was starting to get really fed up. I was like, I have a bachelor's degree, like why will not even Taco Bell hire? Because they're too busy to do hiring. So yeah, it doesn't matter how good your application is on Indeed.
All right, that's enough of that.
They will just delete.
It's gonna be the last.
Fucking hard to get a job, man. In 2025, it is literally impossible, bro. When you do, you get 7 rounds of interviews for some reason, man. Just for them to go with another candidate. You cannot find the job in 2025. It is literally impossible, and I keep crashing out about it. How the fuck are we ever gonna find a job? Why is it so fucking hard, man? It should ever be this fucking hard. I swear, bro.
Down, Darren. Gosh. Nevertheless, I think I have proved my point thoroughly. I think you all understand what's going on. Now, that being the case, ladies, I know there's some ladies out here watching. Look, we've seen these people. They ain't got no jobs. I've seen a lot of people. There's a lot of good-looking ladies out there that can't find a job. Look. I know one thing. I know you ladies well enough to know I'm a grown man. And some of y'all ain't worried about this because you know, but I've been around enough women to know exactly how y'all think. Not all, but enough of y'all. And some of y'all think if times get too hard, you just fall back on what you always had to work with. You think that because you look good, you got a little charm, and biology has blessed you with something. You got your little happy spot popping. You think, you know, you can, hook up with a man and he might want to help you out. You see what I mean? That's always a fallback plan. I've noticed that. Okay. But let's be honest. These young men these days, they ain't worried about you, girl. They don't even want you like that no more. These young fellas, and I'm not talking about them, being anti-Bible relationship. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it family friendly. But what that means is they prefer the company of themselves. A lot of these guys, they really don't even want to be bothered with anybody, especially ladies. And so you can't sell it and you can't give it away when it comes to that. You understand? So the reason is because over the past, I guess, 10, 15, 20 years, become a lot of ladies have become difficult to be around, a lot of demands, a lot of ego, a lot of entitlement. And this society has made a lot of American women believe that men owe them something, that the government owes them something, that we, the taxpayers, owe them something, that society owes them something. And, let's be real, even a lot of older women think that's true, right? You've been dealt, you ladies have dealt with these younger women these days. You can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them. That's why you had so many women talking about, I can't go home, and because you fell out with your mama, you're on the internet begging, right? And you ladies have dealt with these young women. Y'all heard them, you talk to them. They act like they know everything. And then when reality comes knock them on the door, the first thing they want to come do is cry about how unfair life is. Well, life is about, it's going to get even more unfair. See? Once upon a time, if a woman fell on hard times, she could turn to entertainment industry. She could, I'm just talking about recent times, strip clubs, adult content, escorting, online platforms, OnlyFans. And they would do all that just to get away from having a man and having to listen to their families. This is independence, okay? Of course, you got welfare and these sort of things too. But when the economy tanks, men have less disposable income. And this means that they cut back spending in all these industries and that women depend on men for, and that includes just pretty much everything. Now, when we look at history, let's look at the Great Depression in 1929. We're going to learn something. All right? We're going to learn something. You guys hit the number one button. It's time to learn something. So the Great Depression occurred between 1929 and 1939. Nightclubs, what we would call equivalent to like strip clubs, burlesque bars, brothels, where they literally, women sold their good parts, they shut down because men didn't have the money for that level of entertainment, or that type of entertainment. And so women who were dependent on the roaring 20s had to get married. They're the same. So I want you to understand something. She might have been in the brothel 5 years ago, 10 years ago in the roaring 20s, but she had to go ahead and get married for survival. It was about economic hardship that forced women back into traditional gender roles. Look at what's going on in Greece right now. Really from 2009 to 2018, the prostitution skyrocketed as a lot of women struggle to make ends meet. For you guys who don't know, Greece has been going through a downturn for some time, okay? But guess what happened? The industry became flooded because with a lot of desperate women, in there, a lot of immigrants came. It forced the wages down. So you got all these immigrants coming from the Middle East and North Africa and Africa. They headed to Greece, and they trying to get it how they live, so to speak. But many women tried to escape, but they really didn't have a way out. And now with the onset of this rise and fall of this OnlyFans. At first, OnlyFans was boom, during the pandemic. It's like a stimulus check. Men were bored; they were stuck at home, and so click the button, bam. I guess but It's a different time period. We back outside now. Somebody try, we outside. Okay. And many of these women who they were lured in with the promise of this easy money and this quote unquote financial independence. It just fell apart. And the truth is, only about 1% of those women actually made any substantial money, while most of the content creators made less than minimum wage for putting their box out there for the world to see. So the reality is women who think they can fall back on their looks and their quote unquote skills, you in for a shock. And I'm not talking about cooking and cleaning, okay? You in for a shock. There's more women entering into the field, that particular field, for competition, which is going to drive it down, okay? And the demand for that is shrinking. So relying on these industries is not a viable term. Now, I wanted to get that out the way ahead of time because we're going through a pretty girl poverty economy right now, and I wanted to get that out the way to let you know that is not going to be an option, okay? Now, let's go back to the more conventional things, right? With the government assistance disappearing and the economy becoming more unstable, women who once depended on financial independence are being forced to rethink their survival strategy. Shout out to Devin Mitchell. So the decline of financial independence is pushing women to seek out more stable long-term relationships. I think that's a wise thing. Shout out to the women who are in stable relationships and looking for one. I think that's a good thing. Even the ones who don't want one, you got to think about that. A lot of women said, well, I can rely on welfare. You heard all these women talk about, I'm going to go apply for food stamps. Little do you know, okay? They're going to make you look for a job, and it's going to end. Okay, so what are we doing? It's funneling women back to traditional relationships, not just for love, for survival. Now, here's the thing. I talked about, what happens. Women always end up depending on men during hard times. And these hard times come in cycles, whether we talk about the Great Depression, World War II, the 2008 recession. I mentioned that the Greek economic crisis, and the pattern is the same. When times get hard, women fall back on male providers, even men that they would find less desirable. And so what's next? I mean, the choice is yours. So let's ask some serious questions. What's your plan? Are you going to chase a fantasy? You're going to try to be strong and independent and don't need a man? Because that does not work in this world. Not when Trump has gotten trying to get 10 million new millionaires in this country. Okay? And you banking on trying to, sell your happy spot or whatever, try to get that cash app from these simps, there's not enough simps to go around. So you're kind of looking at a rude awakening. Now, here's the thing. I want to just address these federal workers. Nobody feels sorry for these federal workers, especially the IRS. We don't feel sorry. How many of you all feel sorry for the IRS? If you feel sorry for the IRS, type Y in the chat room. If you do not feel sorry for the IRS employees getting fired, type N or nope in the chat room. Matter of fact, just go ahead and type nope. If you feel sorry for the IRS employees getting fired, type yes. If you don't feel sorry for them, type nope. And we accept all languages here. Nope, nunca, nada, niet, whatever you want to say. Don't nobody feel sorry for these federal employees. Y'all have had everybody knows somebody with a good a good government job. They have these cushy, stable careers with all these strong benefits and very little accountability. And Americans believe that the federal workers are paid with taxpayer money while providing very little direct benefit to their lives. Have you ever tried to call any one of these federal government offices? Have you ever tried to go and see what they're talking about? You understand what I'm saying? They don't even answer the phone. Okay. The common perception, shout out to TIQS, the common perception is that the government agencies are bloated, inefficient, and filled with people who enjoy lifelong job security with little risk of being fired, even if they are poor performers. So when we hear about 200-some thousand federal employees losing their jobs, there's not going to be much sympathy. In fact, many Americans think downsizing is something that's long overdue, and it's necessary. It's a necessary correction to the government that has grown too large and unresponsive. The average person's experience with the federal agencies involves long wait times, frustrating bureaucracy, and little to no meaningful assistance. Okay. And so nobody feels sorry for you. Now, here's the thing. Let's just keep it 100 with you. So somebody mentioned in there that this is going to affect the economy. Okay. So let's analyze this, right? And again, I'm not really addressing men because nobody cares about men. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. My audience knows that they lose their job. Too bad, dog. But women, that's something that people might say, oh my God, it's a terrible thing. And back here in about 4 or 5 years ago, I told men this was coming. You guys remember I gave those series of broadcasts and I said, fellas, are you prepared to step over the bodies? And that does not mean dead bodies. What I'm saying is you're going to have your sister and the women in your life who are used to receiving money from the federal government or child support, and they're gonna have the hand out. Are you going? And I think the scenario I put forth, I said, so let's say, brother, shout out to Martin Ducre. I said, let's say your sister with your favorite nephew come to your house and say, hey, big brother, or brother, uncle, I need somewhere to stay with my son. I just lost my job. I got put out. Are you prepared to close the door on that? That's what I told the brothers. And I mean, that's your favorite nephew. Your sister's about to be homeless. Okay. Are you prepared to do that? A lot of men said yes. And that was me saying, are you ready to step over these bodies? Because this is what we're looking at. Okay. Now, and of course, it's going to end up being some homelessness, but we don't typically let women be homeless too long. I don't know what they're going to do with them, but it's going to be some pain in the meantime. But here, check this out. So the federal government has long been the most stable employer in the country, and it provides at some points up to 3 million jobs, with women making up 44% of the workforce. You understand what I'm saying? Women make up 44% of the workforce. So that's about 1,330,000 women who got a notice saying, you out of here. Okay? You getting fired. Fired from their federal position. Trump is what are these 1.3 million women gonna do? Huh? This man is trying to cut 75% of the federal workforce. And there's no way this economy can absorb that many displaced women back into the market. Now, historically, federal jobs provided steady incomes and benefits and securities. Now, this is a little brief history of federal work expansion. Back in the 1940s, the federal government employed about 1 million civilian workers. We're not talking about we're not talking about military folks. Civilian work, 1 million of them. 1980, it ballooned up to 2.8 million, almost 3 million. Today, it's about 2 million, 2.3 million fellow employees. And again, that excludes military personnel. And see, this expansion has mirrored the increase in government spending and national debt. In other words, the national debt seems to coincide with all these doggone employees that we have in the federal government. And so despite its growth, the federal workforce is not necessarily translated to be more efficient and effective government. So, cutting the government jobs, it seems like a simple way to reduce spending. And the reality is that, it's going to cause higher employment. It's going to cause the job market to be flooded with people competing, desperate people who will work for less and be more qualified. It's going to reduce consumer spending. So if you work let's say you're a real estate agent or you work in some sales where you sell merchandise and whatnot, people are going to buy less, okay? The other thing is some economies, local economies that depend on federal workers, like Washington, D.C., that's going to crash, And then, of course, we have to accept the fact that there's going to be weakened public services, but most Americans think it's weak anyway. And what do you really need the federal government for? Social Security, Department of Veterans, IRS, and 2 out of 3 of them we don't even like. What I'm saying? So it is what it is. And as far as the public opinion, there was a Gallup poll. Somebody typed Gallup poll in 2023, and it found that 60% of Americans, that's the majority, 60% of Americans believe that the federal government is too large 55% support reducing the number of federal employees as a cost-cutting measure. And only 30% express concern about the economic effects of mass layoffs. So what that tells me is that most Americans say we need to get rid of these people. Okay, we approve of them getting fired, and we don't give a darn what it does to the economy. So what's next? What's next is these federal workers, they're going to need to try to transition to the private sector. And that's going to be a struggle because some of these people have specialized skills. They spent decades in these bureaucratic roles. They don't know what to do with real pressure, okay? All right, in a corporate job, right? And they're going to be forced to compete for lower paying jobs, and they're not going to like that. They're not going to be able to adjust to the nobody's afraid of a federal worker coming into the private sector. Not at all. Okay. Now, here's the thing: men and women, all right, will experience job loss, but men and women experience in a different way. When men lose their job, he still has a wide variety of options. Not saying women don't, but a man can transition over to some labor, some blue collar labor, some trades. It's physically demanding, and it doesn't require any real formal retraining. You just, it's some skill set: construction, manufacturing, trucking, warehouse jobs. They still exist. They're not ideal, but at least they're viable. You can take care of yourself. For women, it's not really that case. Federal jobs disproportionately employ women in administrative, clerical, and health-related positions. And that's what all those women pretty much win. And those roles don't really have clear private sector equivalents at the same pay scale. And so the private job market already is oversaturated with workers in these fields. And so where do these women go? The answer is nowhere. They stuck. You see what I mean? I mean, here's a cold reality. There's really, there's a difference, and fellas, I know you guys are like, yeah, well, what about us? Look, you all know the reality of being a man in this society in economic distress. A homeless man is just another guy who failed. A homeless woman, especially if she have kids, that's a crisis. And so when women suffer financially, it provokes a visceral reaction from society. But when men suffer, it's the norm. I think Chris Rock mentioned that. And see, the brutal reality is indifference or should I say, the society is typically indifferent to male suffering. Okay, and we laugh when men get kicked in the groin, right? Don't we? We laugh. Somebody get kicked in we laugh, even though it's excruciating pain. There's this unspoken expectation that men should simply just suck it up. You see what I mean? Tough it out. Whether we talk about economic hardship or personal struggles, women, on the other hand, they elicit concern. And the sight of a woman in distress, whether she's begging on the street or living in the car or struggling as a single mother, it shocks both men and women, and we recognize the system is failing. If you can't take care of the women in your country, that means you're failing, okay? But what happens when there's suddenly millions of women with nowhere to go, and when they lose their federal jobs and there's no welfare, there's no safety net, or it's limited, and the private market can't absorb them fast enough, and they are still forced? So what does that mean? They're going to be forced to depend on what's available. And that's typically a man. I mean, typically that's what it is. And so now we're looking at the shift begin. We're talking about the pretty girl poverty. That's what we talk in Trump's economy. Okay. So in past economic downturns, women often had to rely on relationships for survival. And the same trend is repeating itself today. Many women who once embraced this strong, independent situation, I don't need a man, you're going to be dealing with economic pressure now. Fewer job opportunities, and a lot of women are going to prioritize financial stability in a man over her personal preference. He might be 5'6", but he got a nice house, and his job pay him $58,000 a year, okay? And my kids are going to look real good in that SUV that he has parked in the yard, all right? Other thing is shifting priorities. You know, there's a lot of women who thought they want their personal freedom. You know, they didn't want to prioritize relationships, right, that offer financial security over. But now, guess what? They didn't have to, okay? Right? That now that you want your freedom, freedom means alone these days. It might mean homeless. So, you know, again, the problem is, though, this. Look at all these angry dudes on my page. There's a lot of angry dudes in here. Shout out to all the people who've been here for a minute, man. All my angry... I ain't heard from where my ice lords at, man. We talk about turning the cold shoulder in here. Where my ice lords at? It's a lot of men who've been overlooked in favor of what women call high earning men or high value men or athletes or whatever. And now they see this as a moment of reckoning. they can't wait, okay? The dating market is shift with these economic conditions, you know, and the St. Kevin Samuels told us that winter was coming, and doggone it, it has arrived as far as the finances. And some men are going to be vindictive. You know, they're watching women who previously sought this strong, independent thing, and now they're thinking like they need some help. Somebody try to help. And these dudes gonna be like, well, what happened to all that strong, independent talk you was talking about? Help. Help, I need some help. I gotta pay these bills. Somebody try to help me. Help. That's now what happened to all that. Okay? Them hey big head messages is gonna get blocked. Help me. Help. Now, we're looking at a situation where the only help you're going to get is having something like a traditional relationship. Shout out to AI is dangerous. And so women, you find yourself without a job, no safety nets, your mama don't like you. What other options you have if you want to have some semblance of peace? Shout out to TIQS. So again, you know, these are some severe consequences, and I can hit the welfare. If you look at the Great Depression, which I mentioned earlier, from 1929 to 1939, millions, okay? Millions. We're looking at millions of people who could fall into extreme poverty, much like the widespread destitution that we saw in 1996 after welfare reform, which led to the increased hardship of a lot of low-income families. You wonder why folks start selling all that dope and ended up in the prison penitentiary? Because at the same time Bill Clinton was signing the crime bill in 1995, they cut welfare. So now people who've been dependent on this the whole time, you see, the mama couldn't eat, so they went out, men and women, you know, they got interested in the illegal narcotic game, and that was a trick bag. Either you're going to sell this D for some people who've been on welfare, or guess what? You're not going to eat. You see what I'm saying? And then what about, there was a panic of, they call it the panic of 1983 or 1993, I think. I'm sorry about that. The panic of 1993. And you can look that up. We can go into a little detail. But, and then there was also another one you guys should know about, and that was the 2008 financial crisis. And both of those demonstrated financial distress. And without adequate safety nets, it led to widespread economic turmoil, okay? And then also remember what happened in the 1980s during that recession. And you had a rise in homelessness. Thereafter, of course, you know, records of homelessness hit, overwhelming emergency shelters. And it just got bad. You see what I'm saying? So this is not the first time it's happening. Now, I want to kind of dig into this thing. What's happening as far as personal relationship changes? So throughout history, crises have always reshaped personal relationships, and it forced people, women, to prioritize security over their preference, okay? A woman wanting to be with the type of man she wanted to be with or desired is nothing new, okay? But the Great Depression saw marriage rates it literally saw, marriage rates go down because people couldn't afford to get married. Okay, so even though women wanted to get married, men was like, I can't afford it. It just couldn't. It didn't happen. They saw marriages rate plummet because couples simply could not afford to wed. Divorce rates also fell. Okay, not due to happiness. They weren't happy in those marriages, but they couldn't afford to leave financially. You see, they couldn't do it. So you're not getting married and you're not getting divorced. Okay, in 2008. The financial crisis, according to the statistics, forced many women to remain in relationships that they had planned to leave, but they couldn't leave. And so now we got Trump downsizing the economy. And when the federal workforce is being gutted, government assistance is vanishing, the job market is unstable. A lot of women, especially, here we go, same-sex relationships, they're going to face an impossible reality. You see what I mean? I want you to think about this. All that, the girls that like girls, y'all, I want y'all to come to the front of the room. Come on up here. Come on. Give y'all a little time. All you ladies that like ladies, come on up here. Come on, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. So historically, women with financial independence, they have had the luxury of choosing a partner based on love. Praise God. But when the money is tight, the preferences takes backseat to survival. Okay, and the harsh reality is that economic stability dictates choices, not just emotions. Now, this shift is going to be a lot more severe when we talk about, we'll say, female-led households and same-sex or lesbian relationships. Shout out to Penny Ford. Okay. Did you know that lesbian women earn 8 to 10% less than heterosexual women do in their career, often because of discrimination and lack of access to male-earned household income? You ain't have a man, okay? And so you earn less. So your standard of living is already low. And women in general earn 82%. Shout out to Your Excellence. And women in general earn 82 cents for every dollar that a man makes. Now, female-only households will face greater financial risk during economic downturns, struggling with trying to get housing, healthcare, and savings. And so with you got fewer financial safety nets, fewer job opportunities, and skyrocketing costs. Okay, some of these women in these same-sex relationships are going to feel some economic pressure. It's going to make them have to go find them a man. You understand what I'm talking about? Look. Beatrice and Becky ain't gonna be able to get along no more. All right, and you already know what they say about the domestic instability. Okay, so it's not just about money. Let me explain something else. There was a study that examined women and intimate partner violence. In other words, scrapping in the house with the one you love. Okay, we'll say it like that. So it's scrapping. All right, and apparently 43.8% of these lesbian ladies report that they be scrapping in the house. They report physical violence, stalking, and if you believe this or not, grape juice. They get grape juiced by their lesbian. I don't know how y'all do that, but I don't want to talk about it as family-friendly show. Shout out to African Diastatic. We talk family-friendly up in here. Nevertheless, 40.4% of lesbians experience intimate partner violence in their lifetime, and that's higher than heterosexual women. So apparently, these lovely ladies who are of the lesbian tribe out here scrapping it out with each other. So add the fact you don't have any money. Okay. You don't have any money. Okay. You lost your job. You're under stress already. Y'all already be going at it. Okay. Already be in it, boxing each other like Hagler and Hearns. Okay. And now you don't have the money. What does that say? What it says is going to be a lot of pressure on y'all. And somebody going to be like, I'm out of here. I'm going to get me a man. And I've seen it happen before. You can go back to your baby daddy. Okay. So this is another interesting thing that's going to happen. This rising cost of living and stagnant wages and declining government support are making it nearly impossible for women to maintain this financial independence, and the price of everything essential is skyrocketing. and it has been since 2020. The cost of rent has increased 30 to 50%. The cost of rent, do you hear me? A house, an apartment you used to be able to get for $1,500 is now running you $2,250. Can you imagine when these millions of millionaires show up after they get their gold card? I am here. I want to see what you have here to offer me. I am Shamud. I am from the country of Uzbekistan. I'm a multimillionaire sheep herder family, but we now found oil. They're gonna run up the price on everything, man. You hear me? Everything. How you gonna be able to eat? You know, and the only thing is there's gonna be a lot of people who have to get multiple jobs. You're gonna have women who are working, they gotta work longer hours just to afford the rent, food, healthcare. And what about the emotional energy? All this because you didn't want a man. Okay, I want you ladies to understand something. All this could have been ended if you got your right man. All right. And at that point, when you get to the point, love is a privilege, not a priority. Okay, and many women are gonna make that brutal choice and remain in just to stay in a relationship because you need to. Now, another thing, all you ladies out there who are thinking about divorce, you know, in the past, women leave a failing marriage, and you had a safety net. You had child support, you had alimony, you had government aid. That's no longer the case. See, in Trump's economy, all you pretty girls need to understand that policies are aimed to slash these federal benefits, including in some states, alimony and child support. Let me break this down for you. See, there are fewer legal protections for women, you know, and you know, looking at the fact that we have this housing instability is rising, a lot of single mother households making up 40% of all the evictions in the U.S. For a lot of women, this financial risk of divorce or separation is just too great. You see what I mean? I just want you to understand something. I mean, look, it ain't worth it, girl. Society is, you know, it's just not worth it, you know? And when you're dealing with these, when you start looking at these past economic downturn, women are pushed back to domestic roles. It's not you, it's the environment. You see, and that allows more social stability. The 1950s housewife era was largely a reaction to the post-World War II economic shift. See, men needed to reclaim their jobs, okay, from the women who had worked during the war. There was literally women who was, you know, strong women working during the war, and they were sending material and all this sort of stuff overseas, food, et cetera, et cetera. But guess what? You know, when those fellas came home, they needed their job. Give me 1 second, you guys. I'm going to take a quick break. Y'all need to hit the like button. I need y'all to hit this like button. I need the like button to be hit. I'm going to make y'all listen to some gospel music. Hit that like button. I'll be right back.
It's a party going on. Hit the like, 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 hit the like. It's a party going on. We all looking at dinners. Scrolling and subscribing, only take you a minute. Hit the cash app, super chat, be a penny. One is real good, but 20 more will be plenty. Blizzard King pay a visit. Big Blast my witness. Appreciate the love that's black men doing business. Stand up, father and brother, lawyer is he. Hall of Fame game, he's known as Uncle D. Tell it just like B, representing for we know time is money, you learning and pay a fee. Know it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Say it's cold outside, but the podcast hot. Giving you a feeling that these others ain't got. Yeah, know that the blizzard come through. Bundle up for the winter, know this hit. Darren Hay watch views. Hit the light, you know that the blizzard come through. Bundle up for the winter, know this hit. Darren Hay watch views. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like.
We still look at all the beautiful music that we've created. That's what's on the inside of us. We are wonderful people.
You know, because of Trump, I've just been let go. I've just lost my job.
He lying.
As a matter of fact, our whole entire department lost their jobs. I was one of the head research analysts for a specific department, and we were in charge of discovering who let the dogs out. And
I'm not about to play with him. Who let the dogs out? So anyway, as I was saying before, have y'all hit the like button? Let me check my likes. I need to make sure all my likes are being checked because I'm not playing with you all. Y'all are not going to disrespect my algorithm. All this hard work, I'm over here talking and giving y'all facts and such and so forth. Let me see what my like button is. Let me see what, let me see something. Let me go ahead. Okay. All right. I can't even tell what the heck is going on up in here. There we go. All right. We got 839 likes. Y'all better get them likes up. I want my like. We got 684 likes. And we got all hit the like button. Come on, hit the like button. Let me get about let's get to at least to 700. That's about another 16 likes. But anyway, what I was saying was this. So society is not really going to protect non-traditional relationships, so to speak. You know, when times are good, society celebrate. You can celebrate your individual freedom and diverse relationships, you know, but when survival is at stake, ladies, that pressure to conform to a traditional gender role, it intensifies. In past economic downturns, when women were pushed back into domestic roles, I mentioned this from the 1950s. Another one, a lot of you all remember the 1980s. Some of you do. The Reagan era welfare cuts. It disproportionately harmed single mothers, and it led to a lot of, it affected a lot of households in that regard. Okay? And that's because there's an expectation that men should provide for women, and these women need to go find their men. That's where we at. So let's talk about relationship goals. Your relationship goals are one thing, but you should have survival as your preference. Shout out to everybody who's contributed to the Cash App. Appreciate you guys. So here's the thing. As financial instability worsens, women are going to have to rethink their relationship. Okay? You're going to have to do some hard calculations. Independence is not necessarily affordable at this point. A woman who could support herself may now see a man as an economic necessity, not a romantic choice. And it's not really how much money he makes, it's that y'all need your money together just to maintain the same lifestyle. Okay? Okay? I mean, I'm just saying, let's keep marriage has become a survival tool. A relationship is a survival tool. It's not just an emotional commitment. And for some, this is going to mean returning to traditional relationships out of sheer necessity. See, the hard truth is this. The luxury of choice is disappearing, okay? And the world is shifting. All right, women's choices are shrinking, not just in the United States, but everywhere. And what was once a decision based on love and attraction and compatibility is now dictated by economic survival. See, without financial independence, women's ability to choose freely in relationship is going to vanish. Survival, you want to eat, right? You need a man, okay? Romantic relationship, it's all good, it's wonderful, but at the end of the day, you know, you want to make sure you can take care of yourself. Now, that being the case, this gender war, okay? This gender war, and I want to talk specifically to Black folks. This gender war is over. It's over, right? In my opinion, it's over for a lot of different reasons, but let me run down some reasons why, okay? You're looking at a situation where how do you fight with somebody? I mean, because see, for years, a lot of women proudly proclaimed their independence. They asserted they didn't need a man. They didn't want a relationship. And they certainly didn't want a traditional relationship where they had to cook and clean. See, that was only possible because Big Daddy government provided this financial cushion and a safety net. And, you know, even if you lost your job, You had welfare, and these good government jobs never fire you, and then child support was reliable, even if it put a few dollars in your pockets. At that particular point, independence was achievable. But now the economy is collapsing. Shout out to Penny Ford. The economy is collapsing. Government safety nets are disappearing. Trump is in office. You got financial stability is not guaranteed, and your job is not guaranteed, even with a master's degree. And this reality is hitting hard. If a father loses his job, he can't pay child support or alimony. And no matter how many times the courts demanded the federal and state governments, when they cut welfare, SNAP, housing assistance, there's nowhere to turn. And you got, again, I'm going to keep running down this gold card, this green card policy. This is going to allow millionaires and billionaires to fast track their immigration for $5 million price tag. And the difference between having people come visit over here, they don't necessarily know if they're going to be able to stay. They don't want to go through the process of trying to become a citizen. But if a billionaire, if all he has to do is just put $5 million on the table and they're going to fast track him to a green card, he knows, number one, I'm going to be here forever. I can pay for my children to be here. They're going to have children here. We worth $8 billion at the house in Saudi Arabia or wherever place they're from. We can take our money and put it over here. We're going to be like citizens. You see? And so eventually they're going to flood the country with ultra wealthy foreigners, ultra wealthy immigrants. What does that mean? That means housing, food, transportation, everything's going to skyrocket, and it's going to further lower the middle class Americans to darn near the financial brink. And this country is already becoming unlivable for single income households. Do you know that it take in the 1990s, let's say 1998, when many of you all were, I'm gonna say in your 20s, $90,000 was a lot of money. Okay. I remember back in the 80s when $30,000 was the lick. In the 1990s, if you had $90,000, you was doing great. Now, to live in that same lifestyle, you need at least $250,000 a year if you're living in a major city just to maintain a lifestyle that would have put you in medium to upper middle class back in the 1990s. All right, and even here's the cold part about it, even in the rural areas, that provided you an escape from these high costs. What are you gonna do when these billionaires move to Dayton, Ohio, or when they move to outside of Detroit, or they move to Kewanee, Illinois? What are you gonna do? Huh? Look what they're doing to Austin, Texas. You got all these tech giants moving down there. You won't be able to afford to live in Austin in a couple of years. Now, again, fellas, I'm addressing the women because nobody cares about you, right? I think we understand that. Okay? I normally talk to men on this page, but fellas, nobody cares about you. Okay? I know, just as all men do, that as the economy crashes, men are going to suffer. Okay? You're going to be the ones overworked in physically demanding jobs with no alternatives, underemployment, all outright, just outright unemployed. Your rap dreams, gone. You ain't going to be able to make that rap CD no more. You ain't going to be able to blow up. Okay? Period. You're going to have to work. You're going to be fighting for scraps in a dwindling job market with higher competition. You're going to be homeless. You're going to be broken. You're going to be ignored. I know it's depressing. I know it is. Okay? And society doesn't feel any sympathy for struggling men. And the truth is, no one will care. All right? No one will care. But when a woman is homeless, it's a tragedy. When a man is homeless, it's just expected. He must be lazy or something like that, right? He made a mistake, right? Even if a man was a hardworking man, ended up getting divorced and got put in a homeless shelter because he lost everything. Oh well, because men are disposable. And whether we talk about war or industry or economics, nobody's going to fight for men to have a safety net. I'm just saying, I know we don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Now, you need to understand something. For centuries, a small percentage of men have been allowed to reproduce. And the idea that all men could find a woman in a modern artificial construct made it possible for civil society and structured economies. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean, and you're going to learn something. If you learn something, make sure I earn something, but you're going to learn something. When we talk about this, historically, women have always gravitated toward the richest, most successful men. Okay? They would rather share one rich man who's very successful than try to deal with some poor man. The only reason most men were allowed to reproduce was because polygamy was outlawed. Okay? See, wealthy men could marry and impregnate multiple women. They could go full Elon Musk on people. Okay? The whole Elon, how many he got? He got like 13 baby mamas. He got everybody beat. Or something like, he got 13 kids, right? And that ensured that poor women had financial stability. Look, if you're a poor woman, that's okay. I'm just like the lady earlier on was giving that advice. Don't nobody want to date no poor woman. I don't think I've ever dated a woman who wasn't poor. I'm just saying, relatively speaking. Okay, that doesn't mean that condition didn't change. And I guess poor depends on your perspective. But unless you have $3, $4, $5 million in the bank, you probably poor. Okay, and if a flat tire puts you out of business, you're poor. Okay, again, and why was that though? Why is it that wealthy men married multiple women or had multiple women under control? Number one, war was something that was heavy. High male death rates meant there were going to be a lot of women who didn't have men, and that led to these polygamous marriages or whatever. It was meant for protection. Either these rich men are going to take care of them or the state is going to take care of them, and the state wasn't into that, right? And so it was an economic necessity. Women sought men with land, resources, or political power, and that helped ensure their survival. And throughout history, and even religion, all my religious folks, there's a reason that Solomon had 700 wives. And how many concubines did he have? Was it 300? Something like that? Not because he was smashing them all. Some of y'all think that's a flex. He had to take care of those women and their well-being under Jewish law because he was the king and he had the money. You understand what I'm saying? Even in the Islamic societies, they permit polygamy to provide for war and widows and prevents, social instability. Even early Christian and Jewish traditions, if you read your Bible, they allowed men to have multiple wives just to protect them from poverty. And in feudal Europe, you had powerful noblemen. They had mistresses, they had concubines, they had wives, and it ensured that women had economic security, even in male-dominated societies. And even in the United States, of course, there are the Mormons, and that's a community up in Utah. They still practice some form of polygamy, and they argue that it provides security and stability for women. However, okay, in modern society, we outlaw polygamy. So we literally remove that we removed that protection for women and demanded that, especially the women, y'all wanted complete female independence, and you didn't think about what would happen if the environment shifted or if the economy shifted. So, women are now trapped in the economy. You're trapped. It's a trick bag. That's where you are. It's a trick bag. Women were told that, hey, you could do it all, girl. All right? You can do it all on your own. But now, in this strained economy, that's no longer true. Most men don't have money to support multiple women anymore anyway. They're not, unlike Solomon or the 19th century industrialists, today's men are struggling just to survive. The other thing is most men don't even want to deal with the burden of relationships and such. And because at least in an era where you have relationships that are transactional and men are choosing to stay out the game entirely rather than take financial responsibility for multiple women, women are being forced. You got to defend. You got to fend for yourself in an economy that's unforgiving and unsustainable. Okay, and the thing is, ladies, for years you say, not all the ladies, but a lot of women said, I don't need a man. But that chant was only possible when the government and the courts played the role of the provider. Shout out to James Wilson. But now we got, guess who? Donald Trump, hot boy D. Trump in the office. And, you don't have the government necessarily on your side. You don't have the courts on your side. And this is a reality. The safety net is gone. Men are no longer willing to, pick up the slack, or they're not even able to pick up the slack. I mean, you got dudes out here talking about we want to go 50-50. What does that tell you? Right? What does that tell you? If men are talking about we want to go 50-50, they don't have it. You see? And so financial independence for women is becoming an illusion, you know, for millions of them. And in the end, the economy is deciding the outcome of the gender war. It's about ideology, personal choices, and empowerment anymore. No, it's about survival, girl. And as history has always shown, when survival is at stake, the rules change. So what do I predict? Because I like to give predictions, okay? I've always been able to give predictions and tell you guys which direction stuff was headed based on what we all see. I'm just going to tell you, I predict in the coming years, we're going to see a major shift in what women promote on social media, because that's a telltale sign of what they're thinking about. Not because they necessarily want to, because the economic survival is going to force them to adapt. Women always had a way of making necessity look like a choice, okay? And this is no different. I expect you all to see on social media, TikTok videos, women cleaning their houses. I see them cleaning. They're gonna be cleaning their houses. That's gonna be a trend. They're gonna be perfecting their cooking. They're gonna be talking about how to save money. That's the new flex. Saving and investing is the new flex. The same way in the past, they had those luxury travel and expensive brunches and designer handbags and those ultimate social status symbols. Now they're going to rebrand homemaking and budgeting frugally as something trendy and cute and aspirational, not because they necessarily want to, but because it's a necessity. And so they're trying to make it look like a choice. You understand what I'm saying? Did that y'all run with that? Okay. The other thing is, if you didn't know, the sugar daddy era is over. There was look. I mean, look, for years, you know, let's go back to what, 2010. That's 15 years ago. You was 25, girl. You was 25 in 2010. You was flexing on your soft life vacations with the photo, sipping on cocktails, right? Lounging on a yacht, posing on these tropical beaches. You see what I'm saying? I always like the pictures when they up in the hotel and they got the backdrop or whatever scenery is overlooking whatever body of water they're visiting. And if you look in there, they standing in front of the mirror right here, and not mirror, they stand in front of the glass right here. And then somebody took that picture, and usually it's the sugar daddy. And if you look in that reflection careful enough, you can see that sugar daddy's outline in that window reflecting off the glass, right? In the shadow behind it. Well, look, those days are over. All right. Sugar daddies don't have it like they used to. That man is on AARP. Okay. He looking forward to retirement. Okay. And he's focusing on securing what little remain he has his wealth he has left. Inflation has hit him too. Okay, that means your allowance is dried up, cash out here. No, none at all. And you got to pay taxes on that cash app anyway. Anything over $600. Did you know Joe Biden did that? That's what the IRS agents were there for. Okay, so you might get hit with some back taxes. And again, the competition for wealthy men is higher than ever, and there's more being spread thin anyway. For some of you all, again, you know, your sugar dad, that was 10, 15 years ago, girl. You was 25, you 40 now, you 40. You at that big old age of 40, you ain't gonna get no sugar daddy. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong, girl, please? You better, what you need to do, okay, you know, when things get tough, you know, people try to make trendy what they're forced to do. Okay. Right now, women are being forced to become more traditional, okay, and advertise these traditional roles. And I expect to see a massive cultural shift toward promoting housewives, aesthetics, domestic skills, and long-term relationships as the new ideal. And here's what you're gonna see coming. You're gonna see, you know, cooking is the new flex. If you want to blow up. If you guys, anybody who wants to blow up a channel, if you want your channel to get, go on, put some cooking on there. Women showing off elaborate home cooked meals, meal prep, learning recipes, stuff that their grandmothers used to make, like that young lady cooking with Kaya. Or hell, it's gonna be cooking with Kaya, cleaning with Karen, okay? Spotless kitchens with Carmel, glorification of homemaking with Gloria, dressing modestly with Melissa. You see what I'm saying? Femininity with Francine, budgeting with Bianca, and simple living with Samantha. That's what you're gonna have. Those are some shows. Y'all can use all that, start you some shows with that. But if you think about what women promoted in the 1950s, it was homemaking, it was cooking, it was cleaning, it was supporting their husbands. But these women, remember, these women were just working in the plants and the facilities to help get in the war effort just 5 or 6 years ago. Okay? All right? And so, the difference now is this won't be marketed as duty. It'll be framed as self-care and empowerment and a high-value lifestyle. That's how they're going to market it now. So instead of women saying, I need a man to take care of me, they'll say, I want to create a peaceful home for my man or for my partner or my husband. Instead of saying, I need financial stability, they're going to say, I'm choosing to prioritize my family and my home life. I'm telling you, you see it happening. I see it happening. Mark my words, on this day, February 26, 2025, even the music and the movies and the social media trends are going to shift. Expect fewer hot girl summer anthems and more songs about love and loyalty and relationships. I know that's far-fetched and hard to believe, but the economy and the environment dictate the direction of society. So you're going to have fewer party girl aesthetics and more women dressing to attract the right way. Look at how these BBLs are being shamed. I mean, 10 years ago, BBLs was the thing to do. And now look, you even have women who made it famous, like I believe her name is Kim Kardashian from back in the day. Even she is like, no, I'm gonna have this removed. You see what I mean? I'm just saying, look at it. The natural look is coming back because that makes you look more traditional, okay? Less emphasis on independence and more on cooperation and partnership. I'm just telling y'all, man. You see what I'm saying? You see, it's an inevitable shift. And it's not necessarily because they want to, it's because somebody said fishing with Felicia. Dude, I hate all of y'all. He said fishing with Felicia. Boy, I hate y'all. So I hate y'all dearly with every bit of my heart right now. Fishing with Felicia. Oh my God, I lost my train of thought, man. Submission with Samantha. Barbecuing with Bianca. Oh, I'm done with y'all, boy. Y'all are ignorant out here. But anyway, so the world is shifting, and I saw it coming. I know Kevin Samuels pointed it out many years back. People hated him for that, but he was just like, hey, lower your standards. All you women who have children who, you're a little older, why don't you just try to get a dude who'll deal with it? He used to talk bad about men too, like, you're a little too chunky, you don't have enough money, you need to get you a chick that you gotta make more money first, So he just, spoke to people like the truth. And nobody could take his place. And I'm definitely not trying to give relationship advice. I'm just pointing out to you what this economy is going to do. I am more like a scientist. And to me, the world is a petri dish, you see? And if I add different substrates to it, I have different bacteria grow. And so now when you put financial stress on an economy, when you put financial stress on a society, then what's going to grow out of that is more traditional relationships, because men and women have to band together, or women have to go to men. And remember, there was a study out, I forget what it's called, but the study dictates that the women determine the nature of the relationship. So if a woman wants to be in a relationship, she will. And if she doesn't, then she won't. And so that's what you see happening now. So just like a substrate, just like being a chemist, if you want to create certain bacteria, you have to add certain substrates, certain food for the bacteria. And then eventually, if you wait with the right elements, that'll grow. And so that's what's happening now. And I'm not the only one that knows that. But there's a lot of women out there who saw this shift coming. Shout out to your excellent man, your excellent. Thank you so much. We're trying to get these. That's right. Briefalt's law, man. Thank you so much, Age of Machines. Briefalt's law. That's exactly what that's called. Briefalt's law says that women determine the parameters of the relationship. So, and you all are welcome to look that up. And so, like, if that's the case, then now women are saying, well, hey, I'm under some financial stress. Let me go ahead and find a man. So it's not really I'm predicting. I'm forecasting the societal shifts that have happened before. Okay. Because I recognize that history doesn't repeat itself, but it does have echoes. Now, again, the world's changing. I think that we see this shift coming. All that, those who saw it coming and they position themselves early, they're gonna have the best options, and those who still try to hold on to this outdated boss babe ideal, that's just gonna be a struggle, So it's cool. Embrace the homemaking, embrace the modesty. Let's focus on relationship building, and let's make a serious comeback. Now, I have some very particular things I want to say to the Black community, because I know we got some Black folks up in here. I love y'all about this gender war. All of that stuff that I spoke of so far has generally been for everybody listening, because I guess I'm getting a diverse crowd. I don't know why y'all come up over here with me. I'll be chopping my words up. All I do is speak African American vernacular English. But nevertheless, I do appreciate everybody in my chat room. And I'm going to continue on my path of trying to teach people. And hopefully, my legacy will be one who help heal and bring peace through comedy and learning and education. Not comedy. I just got a few jokes. I would never try to put myself on the level of a comedian. But I do love you all. And I want to see Black folks specifically get through what we're going through right now. But anyway, it's the time. I want to take the opportunity to thank all of the people who contributed to the Cash App first, and then we're going to go to the Super Chat. So let's go ahead and do that. I hope you all truly enjoyed my broadcast. I certainly do appreciate spending this 3 hours with you all. So let me go ahead and take the opportunity to thank again, Mr. Robert. Bro, thank you for this $100 Super Chat. Boy, that's what I'm talking about. You're going to get the rock and roll. I don't want to be the last, man. I don't want to be mad at him. I don't want nobody to know. But we're looking out. Robert, thank you. Rodney, thank you so much, Rodney. I appreciate you for the Cash App. Mr. Lawrence, thank you for the $5. Mr. Vardine, thank you so much for the $5. And Miss Amanda, thank you so much for your Cash App donation. Now, let's get to the real MVPs up here, man. I want to give a big shout out to everybody who came through with the Cash App. Now, we got 22 Super Chats, and I know darn well that you all learned something up in here. Okay, now if you didn't learn something tonight, then that means you just hard-headed. You don't hear nothing. You don't hear well at all. Okay, I need to make sure that I'm seeing this right. 22 Super Chats. Golly, nevertheless, if we can get to 25, that'll be live. 22 is only a few short of 25. So let's go ahead and get together and let's see if we can get me 23 or 25, but only if you learn something. If you didn't learn something, you don't owe me anything. I'll try to do better next time. But my man, Eddie B, he said the Blizzard King. Shout out to you, man, is here. Thank you so much. Randy Harris, classes in session. Thank you so much, family. Who else we got up in here? Praying for Alicia. I'm a pretty woman at 55. Glad I handled my business while young and love being 100K. Yo, you did the right thing, baby. You did it. It's gonna be some women that's out there gonna be fine no matter what. They can lose their job and turn back around and have another stream of income. Probably got it now. So it's some women that's just some people are always gonna rise to the top. And you got to expect that, okay? And I'm not mad. And the thing is about Black folks, the only people really holding us down is ourselves. Once we get out our own way, we are able to succeed tremendously. And I think the gender war, which is drummed up by the media and music and people who benefit from seeing us fighting with each other, it needs to end. Now, it might not have ended on its own, but now it has to end. And the reason it has to end, because the economy won't let people keep fighting like this. It's just not going to happen. So, this Trump's election is actually a good thing for the Black community as a whole, in my opinion. All right. But thank you so much praying for Alicia. Allison Cooper, shout out to you, Allison Cooper. Thank you so much for the membership. Eric Brodus, Uncle D, Australia charges $5 million for instant permanent residency visa. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? It's not new. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to JT Coins Ring. Salute, DS Chat. Thank you so much, fam. Black men swimming. Don't care about the IRS employee. Don't nobody care about the IRS employees getting laid off at all. You hear me? At all. Okay. Shout out to James A. Richard. Thank you for the $2 super sticker. 23-4. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, God. We elected FAFO. Yeah, Trump is coming through with the sledgehammers, breaking up everything. Shout out to B. Tisdale. She's read too much Cinderella. Thank you so much. Grandma said wet panties and dry purse don't matter. They sure don't. Devin Mitchell, ladies, still not. No 50-50. No men over 100K. No short men ride under 100K. TIQS said we are not paying to look at some used yams. We outside. We on planes. We simp free in 2025. It's gonna be hard to get men to cooperate with you, man. They y'all done let them men go free. You told them you didn't want them, and so it's gonna be. But at the end of the day, fellas, look, I know you well enough to know that you're lazy, and if you didn't have to fly overseas, then you wouldn't. Okay. But if these, things, you'll see, mark my words, the ladies are going to become a little bit more nicer, and they're going to a little bit easier to get along with, even if they don't want to, just out of necessity, because people need to eat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Martin Dupree, Uncle D, keep up the work. You need your background music. Oh, y'all want me to play the background? I don't play it sometimes because I figure it's distracting, but I love playing my background music. Let me put my background music. I like that little music popping. Yeah. Yeah. AI dangerous. And God is humbling humanity. It really is. It is. Give them nothing. All right, we got 24 super chats. All we need is one more super chat to get to 5. Maybe we'll get there before I finish this list that I'm reading off. Give them nothing. TRQS. Penny Ford. I'm a saposexual, attracted to intellect. At least be smart enough to keep your job. Oh, you cold-blooded. Shout out to Penny Ford. Your Excellence gifted 5 Dennis Sperling podcast memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. The African diastatic. I'm late and it passed my bedtime for the plate. Nah, man, you right on time, man. Good looking out. Penny Ford, they're going to have to hit the QR code. The computer has no empathy for whatever your problem is. It sure doesn't. James Wilson, thank you so much. And also, thank you again. You're excellent, man. You passing out memberships. Good looking out, brother. That's like 15. We're trying to get to 200, 100 more memberships. All together, that'll be like 300, man. If we can get that, it'd be great. You take up tuition offering like a Pentecostal preacher, worth every dime. Thank you so much, sweetness. I love you so much for being so supportive over these past few weeks since I came back from my vacation. I thank you so much. I'll make sure I keep the level of discourse high and uplifting, okay, especially in these times that are very trying and stable. One of the reasons that I decided to just kind of, you guys know I am ferocious. I don't hold any bars back, and I let people have it. But now is not that time. It's time for Black people to come together. It's time for us to stop fighting with each other, because we have so many other things that we need to keep our eyes on. And that's what I need you to understand. So I've kind of recognized the position that I'm in. Very interesting enough. Did you guys hear what the O'Shea Duke Jackson said about me? He let the cat out the bag. Did you guys hear what he said? In one of his recent broadcasts, they were talking about how Kevin Samuels didn't put any of his friends on. You guys remember that? Did y'all see that? Did any of you all see that? And then Kevin said, no, he was trying to get, O'Shea Duke Jackson said, no, he was asking me, O'Shea Duke Jackson. By the way, I really like O'Shea Duke Jackson. He is you know, he's the heart and soul of Black YouTube, whether you like it or not. He's consistent, he's professional. He's definitely one of my favorite broadcasters of all time. And a really cool guy, really stand-up guy. I really like O'Shea Duke Jackson. When Kevin Samuels passed away, he was 100% in my corner trying to help me get Miss Beverly, who's Kevin Samuels' mom, straight. I found a lawyer for him. We helped pay for Kevin's initial things he needed to get the estate set up out of our own pocket, behind the scenes. If you guys know, you guys probably remember. There was a lot of people saying bad things. He died broke, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But I was not gonna let that Black man's reputation be tarnished like that. And you know, that's just me. You understand? That's just how I get down. It don't matter. You know, once you my friend forever, life and death. I'm loyal like that, you know. And so I bought a dress for his mama and his daughter, and so they could look nice for the funeral and the cameras and such and so forth. I think I even went shopping. My fiance at the time, wife now, we went shopping and bought them some stuff and made sure they looked nice and FedExed it to them. I didn't make it to the wedding because I knew there was going to be some people there talking stuff, and I know myself well enough to know that I would not want to become a distraction, you know. But nevertheless, yeah, Kevin's a stand-up guy. But I say all that to say, you know, they were trying to convince me to kind of take the realm, you know, because, you know, I had a very small channel. It's still relatively small, not even over 100,000. But, you know, when you compare me to some of the other YouTubers, it's like, okay, well, he's stable, professional. He's made his life in the real world. He knows people. He's connected. Yeah, that's a good guy to have out there as our spokesperson. And Kevin was trying to transition over to doing more corporate stuff. Kevin was trying to, you know, hook up with these folks in New York and the Bronx, not the Bronx. Shout out to Saint Nick 69. He was trying to hook up with these people in Brooklyn and start doing manufacturing. You see what I'm saying? Kevin was planning to begin to ship products and cologne and stuff all across the world, you know, literally revitalize certain sections of the Black community. You know, I could envision, that was in, gosh, I can't believe it's been that long. What was that, 2022? 4 years, man. Yeah, we'd have been well on our way to building an empire. And, but, you know, he passed away, and, you know, we don't question the good Lord. And it is what it is. So, you know, I'm doing fine for myself, still practicing law, doing well. I'm sure MTR and lead attorney are doing well for ourselves. And Kevin Samuels' legacy continues to grow, you know. But that being the case, I decided to I took a break, as you guys know. I took a break kind of last year a little bit. And over the last few months of the last year specifically, I just chill. And, you know, I decided to come back and seeing what was going on in the world. I think, shout out to Wayne Solomon, it's a good idea that we begin to tone down this rhetoric amongst Black folks. I'm just saying, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I'm long-winded, okay? And I live in Texas, so I'm going to talk, okay? I'm going to stop. I know y'all got stuff to do. You're like, oh, he keep rambling. And he on one super chat, he got a bunch more left. But shout out to you, Penny Ford. You inspired me for that. So that rant was for you, Penny Ford. Thank you so much, baby. Zookeeper, he says, remember the time cooking with Pam? It's a cooking oil spray commercial that I saw as a kid. I remember that, man. I do remember that. CR, thank you for the $5. Oh, we got 28 super chats. Well, gosh, let's see if we can get 30 before I'm finished. 30 will be purty. All right, my man, Your Excellence says, they not like us. Thank you so much. Saint 69, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Well, where you gonna get your coochie from? I know I shouldn't say that word, but where you gonna get it from? Okay, you're gonna run out of clearly Puff Daddy done got all the baby oil. Okay, and I'm just saying. So it's just a matter of what happens. We'll just let nature take its course, and if you decide otherwise, fine. But that's fine. Shout out to Wayne Solomon also. He said, Black people, we all we need, unite. Yes, we do. And ironically, it would appear that these folks harassing us and showing us just how powerful they are and trying to get us to march, that signals a lot about who we are. If nothing else, these immigrants begging us to come help them and come save them from their votes, and I've talked about that in great detail. It should show you just how powerful and influential we are as a people. Okay, so don't forget that, and we are better together, and that's for the brothers and the sisters. So you guys keep that in mind. Now, that being the case, let's be honest here for a second, family, as I wrap this thing up like a Christmas gift. Black men and women, what we have been doing, all right, we've been at the center of this so-called gender war, this skirmish inspired and foisted upon us by white folk. Because at the end of the day, Black men never oppressed Black women. It's been white men who gave their women such a hard time that they said, we want feminism, we want independence. Black men didn't do that, but they let us, they put us in it, and we do a good job. Okay, capping, bagging, roasting. That's what we do. We do that all the time. I think I taught it's part of our culture. So that was exploited. And they put it on TV and they put it in movies and they made us think we don't like each other. But the babies kept coming. So that means we must like something about each other. Don't we? Tell the truth. Shame the devil. But anyway, we've been at the center of this gender war, going back and forth like it's a rap battle, arguing about who brings more to the table. In the meantime, the table has been sold. I just want y'all to know that, okay? No, really. Shout out to Your Excellency. The table is gone. It's been repoed along with the cars, the house, and everything else we thought we were flexing with. Your government job is drying up. Your welfare checks are disappearing. Your child support is unreliable at best. And the economy is about to remind all of us just how little we actually have. So at this point, praise Moses, it's time to cut the nonsense. No more of this, I don't need a man. Ladies, cut that out, okay? No more of that. Fellas, no more of these women ain't worth nothing, and no more of that either, because they are worth something. You understand? That debate is dead. Doesn't matter anymore. It's time to find somebody you can actually work with. Somebody you can build a legacy with, somebody you can survive with. Because if you don't, you're going to have a rough ride at it. And that's for the men and the women. Shout out to Dirt Cookies, Flying, Swat, and Tether. I'm not going to read any more of that. Yeah, you're going to have a rough ride. You see, for years, we've been living in a $38 trillion illusion, and depending on and I'm talking about our government deficit, depending on the government programs that allowed underperforming people to sit in federal jobs just to keep them safe. That's the same way King Solomon and these Islamic societies kept multiple wives, not necessarily because these women were great wives, but because they needed to keep them protected and stable. You understand? Now, guess what? Trump does not care. You understand me? This economy does not care. If you can't bring anything to the table, and again, the table is already gone, okay? So you're going to be struggling, all right? But if you can't bring anything to the table, you done. So, men, you're going to have to get over your grudges. You're going to have to chalk it up to a loss and just understand that that's the nature of women. They need you when they need you. When they don't need you, they don't need you, but you need them and they need you. Ladies, you're going to have to let your ego go. Some of you are going to have to, quote unquote, settle for a man that you think is beneath you. If you want to eat. If you want to eat, you don't have to settle if you don't want to eat. It's a bridge you can go live on in your town. But if you want to eat, if you want a roof over your head, if you want clothes on your back, you might want to settle. Because at this time, settling is stepping up. Now, if the answer is yes, I do want to eat. Yes, I want a roof over my head, yes, I want clothes on my back, then maybe that man isn't beneath you at all. Maybe he's exactly what you'll need to help you survive through to 2025 and over the next 10, 15, 20 years. And I'm not saying it's going to be all bad, but let's be real. We're entering into a new era. I say about for the next 12 years, okay, about the next 12 years, okay, it's not going to look like the last 12. The economy is shifting. The government is stepping back. All these old safety nets are vanishing, and this means you need a plan. And the plan better include a man. Okay? It better include some cooperation and for some survival, ladies. Because unless you're cool with moving back in with your mama and her new man who don't like you anyway, or crashing at your sister's couch or on her couch with all them badass kids running around, excuse my language, you might need to rethink some of your choices. See, now and here's another thing. If you holding out for Pedro and Chad and Mustafa and Muhammad to wipe you up, well, the stats show that you're going to be waiting for a long time. Now, they might put a baby in you and run back to their culture, but they're not going to marry you. And the data is clear on that. I don't even need to regurgitate that. Look, it's black men who are marrying black women. All that swirling and that fantasy, that's not going to happen, sweetheart. That's a fantasy. Or at least not for most. And there's some women out there who married out. Okay, fine, great. But for most of y'all, so if your plan is to chase fairy tales and keep swiping left on the solid, hardworking brothers who are pipe fitters and electricians and blue collar workers, generally speaking, contractors, then you're gonna mess around and be out of luck. Because see, when times get tough and the rent keeps going up and the groceries hit $500 a trip, you're going to wish you had somebody to split them doggone bills with. You wish you had somebody to split them bills with. Instead of wondering, going to these country and western bars looking for Brad, and getting ignored at these Irish pubs or sitting awkwardly at some bar mitzvah or hoping to catch some wealthy Jewish husband, right? Who's going to, basically send you back to your people. You need to go ahead and go to the barbershop and actually listen to the black men and what they're saying. You need to pull up at the barbecue and actually have some conversations and understand what's going on in their minds instead of just going there to talk. Do some listening. Go back to the cookout. Okay? You need to show up at your brother's second baby mama's baby shower. Because it might be somebody there you can meet. You never know. Okay? You might need to find you a man, a decent man, who's also trying to navigate these times. See, the reality is nobody's coming to save you. All right? And you need to find your tribe. You need to find your man. You need to find your partner. You need to start working towards something real, because this next decade is going to be, it's not going to be about preferences or manifesting independence. It's going to be about who's got your back when the times are hard. So get serious, get practical, get back to your community. Enjoy that air mattress at your mama's house. Okay, that's what you need to do while her new man side eyes you for your choice. That being the case, I would like to wish you all, since I know y'all gonna be headed back to the culture real soon with your sophisticated shelves, I'd like to wish you a happy Juneteenth and a happy Kwanzaa. I'm sure I'll see the fantasy's over. Shout out to hot boy Donald Trump for bringing black folk back together. This is Uncle D, and as I always said this time, I'm out, baby.
Dennis Sperling. In the city where the lights don't sleep, Uncle D got the vibe so deep. Representing men strong and free. Dennis Sperling's the king of the spree. In the streets where the rhythm flows, black men rising, that's how it goes. Uncle D got the truth to show. In his heart, that's where the fire glows. Late night tuning, light up the stream. Dennis Berlin, wisdom gleam. Voices whisper truth and insight. In his podcast, feel the light. Harmony in every word. Truth and laughter you've heard. Well, that's all right. Wave after wave of smooth delight. Dennis brings the dark to light. That's the limit, baby! Share the tales unfold. Stories warm like morning gold. Feeling the wisdom of this building. Subscribing like time after time.
Black men, black men, black men. I want to salute you. Your incarceration rate is down. The education rate is up. We up. We went from, we are doing great for ourselves. So you should salute yourself. Shout out to all the brothers out there, whether you're a truck driver or engineer, whether you're an electrician or garbage man, a doctor, a lawyer, if you're a hard-working brother, if you fresh out the penitentiary, but you on your grind and you doing it legal and you trying to make amends for yourself, man, I salute you too, brothers. God bless you. This is Uncle D, and you know, I'm out.